Yo, yeah, dang face. Oh shoot, I totally forgot about that. Well, that's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's see here. Clear your mind and the rest will follow. Wait, is this a horizontal or vertical stream? What's going on here? Huh? Nani? Getting everything all situated, and then we can get the TikTok live going and we'll be good to go, y'all. Once I confirm that I am live on the tubes, on the tubey doobie. The two-doob, ba-dooba-dooba-dooba-dooba. Oh. I'm indeed live. I can hear myself. Okay, good, good, good. Oh my God, I'm dropping everything, y'all. All right, let's see here. What am I forgetting? Focus, focus. I got to focus. That is all fine. I have a camera source. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, now let me go ahead and hit live real fast on this one too. Well, I actually got to go ahead and switch it to this. And then I should be able to go live. And there we go. There we go. What is going on, guys? What's good? What's good? What's good? Philosopher here. Big chillin'. We're live on all the things right now. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch, and we're live on TikTok right now. This is my first Sunday stream on TikTok. I always stream on Sundays at 6:30. Usually it's just YouTube and Twitch. Twitch primarily, I'm streaming the whole entire time. YouTube, I'll segment it into my different channels. TikTok, I just this week got monetized. I don't know why my stream looks so weird though. My video quality looks scuffed as hell. I'm gonna fix that real fast and turn that off. I don't like the way that looks at all. So I want to clear up all the effects on my TikTok side. My TikTok makes me look all washed out and whatnot, but we're live. I see people rolling in on the TikTok side. I know that a few of my friends will probably hop through on the Twitch side as well, or probably the YouTube side. But we're here. We do this every single Sunday. It is called Where's the Line? Now, I did a long stint, and I'm probably going to get back into this once I figure out where I want to pick back up. But I talked a lot about the lingering effects of Jim Crow and how it affected us now, all the way back to slavery. But Jim Crow is really a good starting point because Jim Crow is the Jim Crow era, right? Not Jim Crow specifically, but the era that makes up everything after slavery ended is a very important part in itself. Slavery is that history. We've talked about it a good bit, you know. I say we, I think society. So there's more to talk about it, but we know that it happened. In terms of Jim Crow, I just felt like that was a great starting point. We started in February towards the middle of it and just kept on going, really talked about it. The last time we stopped there, we talked about Frederick Douglass. If you're on the TikTok side, you can probably see my prompt, or if you're on the YouTube side too, you can see my prompt. Which is exactly what it says. I think that MAGA is dangerous and Donald Trump is absolute trash, slash racisto. If I got a lot of people mad at that last time. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but not y'all, but just the people that I talked to in general. They just really didn't like that I said that Trump was racist. I don't know why, but it really bothered them. And then they also hated how I spelled it. And it's like, I'm not trying to get demonetized, you know? I'm not trying to get demonetized. So it's spelled weird because I don't want to get demonetized. If you don't understand that and you think that I can't spell, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to argue with people about it. But yeah, let me go ahead and I'm doing 2 streams. I'm running 2 pieces of software. So I'm trying to figure this all out the best that I can. Let's see if this all works out. Okay, on the Twitch side, we're looking good. Let me see on the YouTube side if we're looking good. I still don't like the color, but this is old. Okay, this camera looks fine. The other camera looks scuffed. I need to turn off that AI auto. I don't need AI to change my colors. I can do that myself. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I'm not going to sweat it too hard, but hey, I did a live stream yesterday where I had people request up and talk. I specifically talked to Trump supporters and we had some very interesting conversations. I had a conversation with somebody who was clearly an anti-Semite and was accusing me of being an anti-Semite. And here's the weird thing, right? Let me know if this music is too loud for you guys. It's a little loud for me, so I'm gonna turn it down a bit. But I was explaining this to a friend because I was still baffled. I was editing the footage and everything, and the thing was that this guy wasn't accusing me in an accusatory way. He was accusing me in a way of like a used car salesman telling me that I already bought a car that he wanted to sell me. And it was really, really weird because he spent the remainder of the time escaping accountability for anybody Trump related, anybody who voted for Trump, and spending the whole entire time talking about the Jews and however most benefited him. It was really weird. I don't know how I'm going to utilize some of that content because I think that was just borderline offensive and not productive, just listening to this guy trying to talk about stuff. So it was really, really weird. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Anybody who's a return person hopping in here, I'm going to open up the request line in just a second for you guys to hop up. If you're on TikTok, you'll see it pop up. If you're on the YouTube or Twitch side, I can open up a phone line if it gets more popular on that side. TikTok is definitely a lot more popular, so I'm focusing on that because it's way more convenient for me. I'm running 2 streaming softwares right now. Thank God I have a beast of a PC. But yeah, I'm running those 2 streams and I'm getting used to it. This is the first time I've done both of them. I got used to doing the vertical on YouTube and the horizontal on Twitch, but now I'm just doing vertical on TikTok for now, but I'll probably end up doing both because I'm going to be doing gaming later tonight anyway. And I don't know about y'all. I don't like watching gaming vertical. I don't know who does that. If y'all do it, let me know. I think that's very weird. It's not a political topic, but I think it's a controversial one. Maybe, I don't know. I feel old. Watching anything in vertical kills me a little bit. I've gotten used to it. I still don't watch TikTok very much. I watch YouTube Shorts though. It's the same thing, right? It's just the format. It's just the platform is a little different. But anyways, yeah. So I'm getting this all set up. I'm trying to get this camera turned off. I like auto smooth it and then change the colors and stuff. I don't want any of that crap on here. So I want to turn that off. Let me know if the colors look weird or anything like that on your side. Your humanitarian aid race fragile chirping. Pablo, what do you mean? You want to debate about this? YouTube culture is America. Modernity and reliability, abundance, even for all the refugee races. Hold on, let me see what you're saying here because I don't know if I agree with any of what you're saying right now. Let me take a look here and see what you got going on here, buddy. Let me take a look at what you got here. Dr. Blood Clot. I don't know what that means. How is MAGA dangerous? Your name makes me think that you're trolling, but I'll explain it to you. I think that MAGA is the equivalent of the people who looked the other way for the Nazis or encouraged the Nazis and the Mustache Man to continue doing what they're doing in Germany. That's the best easy example that I can give. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I just think that Trump, one of the followers in my chat, he is Timu Mustache Man, right? And so you have MAGA looking the other way when it comes to the ICE raids or the ICE murders, right? You have MAGA looking the other way with January 6th. You have MAGA looking the other way when it comes to the actual election of 2016, right? Denying the election to this day. You have the followers in, positions of power, places of power, denying the election, denying a lot of facts, denying the whole Epstein thing, denying a lot of the violence, and denying the fact that they're actually in a war when they're calling it a conflict instead of a war. I can just keep on going and going and going, right? You guys, if you want to support Trump, if you want to support ICE and all those things, just admit that you're a bigot. Just admit that you don't care about consistency. Just admit that you don't care about the law. Admit that you don't care about common decency. Admit that you don't care about morals when it doesn't apply to your group of people, right? If you were able to do that, I wouldn't be as bothered by this. And maybe I wouldn't call you as dangerous because you'd be very open about who you are. But instead, you try to gaslight society into thinking that we're the crazy ones. You try to gaslight us into thinking that we're the ones that are being irrational. You try to gaslight us into thinking that history isn't actually history and you guys weren't as bad as you actually were, or your ancestors weren't as bad as you actually say they were or were not, right? You have people like, what is his name? Matt Walsh that we talked about, denying huge swaths of Black history or downplaying or dismissing it or inserting questions where questions don't really need to be asked about the legitimacy of something, right? So yeah. No, I think Trump wants to be like the mustache man. I don't think he is the mustache man. I don't think he's anywhere near as competent or skilled or as knowledgeable as he thinks he is compared to the mustache man. So yeah, I think he's a Temu mustache man. That means that when you get it, it's absolute trash. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So it's not for lack of trying, right? January 6th is a good example of not just Trump, but MAGA trying to change how America operates through violence. And then we as Americans had to accept that that was not a coup. We had to, like, you had to convince us that it wasn't a coup. You had to convince us that it wasn't as violent as you said it was. Oh, but also it was the FBI. Oh, also it was Antifa. It's like, you guys can't be consistent about who's doing what, why they're doing it, and if it's true or not. Where's the violence? Let's talk about the ICE raids. Let's talk about Palestine. Let's talk about Iran. Let's talk about the whole issue with Venezuela. Let's talk about Cuba. Those aren't violence. That's not violence. What do you call those? Obama deported way. Yeah, you're right. So look, somebody said Obama deported way more than Trump. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is statistically true that Obama deported more people than your king here. So how is it that somebody who was fairly left-leaning compared to Donald Trump was able to successfully deport more people with less violence? What is wrong with Trump? Why is Trump doing such a poor job? Appreciate you following me, by the way, Julian. Thank you so much. If I missed any other notifications, I'm very sorry. Thank you guys so much for the support. Do me a huge favor while I take a quick pause here. I'm already getting heated into the mix and everything because of the trolls in the chat. But make sure you guys shoot a follow my way. I just got monetized. I don't know what the hell that means. If anybody is knowledgeable with TikTok and the stickers and stuff, let me know. I'm not going to really ask for that right now because I don't even know how that works or how much it is, so I don't feel comfortable asking for any of that. I know it's normal on TikTok to do that, but I want somebody to really educate me. I've been reading up on it. The TikTok studio is really nice. I just sometimes when I'm overwhelmed have issues actually like reading because of ADHD and stuff. So I typically try to just go slowly and learn things over time. So thank you guys so much for the support. We hit 50 followers yesterday. That was crazy how fast that happened. So I'm loving the interactions, and I want to open up the chat lines in just a second here to see how things go. If you're on the TikTok side, thank you. If you're on the YouTube and Twitch side, I am streaming on TikTok now. TikTok. If you want to check me out on there, you can follow me, shoot me a follow. I'm currently aiming for 75 followers. That's just my goal. It's arbitrary, but it's just a way for me to keep track of things. But let me go back to the chat here because I missed some stuff and I want to go back and read it because y'all are chatting fast and I appreciate it. And then I want to get this chat line up too. Hopefully everybody will be able to hear me. I don't have any moderators on Sunday for my live stream, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and start working on getting some because of TikTok. Y'all crazy. Y'all be crazy in a good way. Like, y'all are very active and vocal, and as much as I disagree with a lot of the conservatives in the chat, you know, I still appreciate you guys stopping by and spending some time talking to me, even for the racist bigots out there. You know, I hate your guts, and I think that you support a tyrant who a wannabe tyrant. But you know, even though I'm incredibly disgusted by the people who still support Donald Trump, I respect you guys spending some time listening to me talk. You didn't have to. You didn't have to waste your energy typing into the chat, but you did. So I'm still grateful, even though I'm absolutely disgusted by you. So I just want to share that. I'm a very, very, very honest man. I am not a liberal. I am an independent. I'm very critical of Democrats. It's just that I know how to prioritize a cherry bomb versus a nuclear bomb, right? Democrats, they're a cherry bomb compared to the conservatives. So I have a lot of criticisms for Democrats. Don't worry, they'll get theirs. But you know, a cherry bomb, or even a grenade, even a hand grenade, right? Even if it was a hand grenade, it is nowhere near the level of severity or priority as it is for the conservatives. Includes paid sponsors. Congrats. Looks like the stream is growing. It is growing. I don't have any sponsors. I don't know if it says that I have a paid sponsor. I think I just check the box just because like I have ads on, but that should always, nothing's changed on the Twitch side. So I don't know if there's any new notifications on that side. I might have checked the box. I didn't mean to. All right, I'm sorry here. I'm missing stuff. We were not out protesting ICE while Obama. Oh yeah, so this guy, good. Thank you. This guy is making my point for me. I love this. This guy, Silver Camaro, was trying to argue, I think, for MAGA maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just reading it as I see it, but it's really helping me make a point here about Donald Trump and being racist, because Obama, or Obama, as this guy calls him, deported more people than Trump has. And in terms of the rate too. So if you want to just talk about this year and a half, this term for Trump, we can still talk about the rate at which Obama was deporting people without having to compare it to a full 4 years. We can talk about where he was at this point in time during Obama's term, right? Equal timing. He deported more people, right? And the thing is, this guy is saying, why were people not out protesting ICE while Obama was reporting? I think he means deporting. And he said it's something. I don't know what else he said here. But the thing is that if this is the case, where is the footage of ICE agents shooting people in broad daylight in cold blood? Where is the footage of ICE agents murdering people in the streets? Where is the footage of ICE agents shooting white women in the face when Obama was president? Where's that footage? Yeah. It must just not have been there because, you know, cell phones weren't as popular back then. You know, people didn't have those recordings back then, right? If I'm being incredibly fair, right, the reason why I'm mad at ICE is because they're shooting people in cold blood right now. And they're not even deporting more people than Obama, per this person's words in the chat, who clearly doesn't seem to be an Obama fan since he keeps calling him Obummer. So I don't understand how a Democrat, who I don't like Democrats, a Democrat can do a better job at deporting people than a Republican and do it less violently. How do you not understand how stupid you sound right now? How do you not understand how stupid you sound? Trump deported less people than Obama and did it more violently than Obama did. So how can somebody have a higher deportation rate and be less violent? And if that is the case, why the fuck would I be mad at Obama when he's doing a better fucking job than the person that you can't get off of their dick? Explain that to me. Explain it to me, please. Let me open up the line so y'all can explain this to me. Let me go ahead and open up the TikTok request up. Request up if you're a Trump supporter. Don't be a coward. Don't be a TikTok Twitter finger warrior. Hop up and talk to me. Hop up and talk to me. Let's go ahead and open up the lines and see what kind of trolls we get and what kind of serious people we get, because that is the stupidest take when it comes to trying to prove that Donald Trump is, one, not racist, two, not a hateful human being, because I say racist on here, right? I say that. He is that. But just because somebody's racist doesn't mean you can't also screw over people of your own kind, right? Poor people are not in the same class for people like Donald Trump. So I'm sorry, if y'all are white, y'all are also getting the shaft. I don't want you to think that you're not getting the shaft, right? I fully believe that this applies to you too. So if you're a Trump supporter, I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in the Lord. So I'm sorry. So hey, you can take your religion and move on if you don't want to have a conversation. You can't, you can live your best life. You're not telling me how to live my life, so I'm not assuming that you are. I mean, you're saying not today, Lord, but you can take your Lord somewhere else, right? I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because this is a horrible thing. And if the Lord wants me to take a break on the Sunday while there are people getting murdered in the streets, or people getting killed overseas, and people getting screwed over because our politicians are lying, or people getting away with things like the Epstein situation, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna shut the hell up because it's Sunday. I'm not. Silver Camaro, what's so horrible? Let me see if you actually replied to anything I just said, because here's another point that I want to make, is that MAGA doesn't know how to actually interact with reality. He made points and never actually acknowledged them. He said, who are they shooting in cold blood? Hold on a second here. Hey, Bonnie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you very, very much. Again, thank you guys for hopping in here. I'm just thankful just the fact that people are hopping in here and interacting. Let me see here. Hey, Megan, what's up, man? I still think he's racist. I think he's more than racist, though. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Dunsford in the chat. You can't see it on... Oh, you might be able to see it, actually. This is on the Twitch side. Obama deported 3.1 million, where Trump only deported... but which term was this? Because this is what I was mentioning earlier. Is this a rate? Right? Is this a... like Obama had 2 terms back to back, right? And I'm biased towards just hating Trump, right? You know, y'all will call it Trump derangement syndrome. However, Trump's first term, okay, thank you. I like doing my due diligence and just not assuming that I'm right one way or the other, right? So Trump's first term, cool. I want to, and then also, is this Obama's 2 terms combined? Because again, that's not really a fair comparison. I mean, you can still see that in one, like maybe the second term, he just really got ramped up, right? So he only did less than like 800,000 in the first term. And then the second term, he might've had like all the people really, like he really ramped it up. So if I'm not asking you to be my fact checker, if you're looking it up, then great. It was over the term of 8 years, but it's still over double. Yes. Yeah. I totally agree with, like, I see the math, but I am trying my best to grant everything that I can towards conservatives so that they can't just try to wiggle out of these arguments. So I like to do my due diligence and make sure I understand every aspect of an argument and not just buy into it. So it's nothing personal to you. It's not that I'm questioning your sources or your information. I just want to be thorough and not just assume. So let me go back to this chat because y'all are fast. Y'all are going crazy in the TikTok chat. I can't keep up. How can Trump be racist but endorse several black people? Because you ever heard the term token before? The term tokens get spent. A person can be useful despite what they look like or who they associate with, what they identify as. If a person is useful, they're useful, period. Race doesn't always have to play into it. And now the thing is that sometimes race can be useful because you can say, I'm not racist, I have a black friend, right? Like there's a reason why that meme is said to people when they say that, because it's a really dumb argument. If somebody's useful, they're useful. It's not a gotcha. It's not a good point to bring up in an actual intelligent conversation. You know, it's a really dumb like a really dumb point. Oh, hold on. Let me double check, make sure no one's requesting up. I don't want to ignore anybody. Again, I'm running 2 streams at the same time. So this is the first time I'm running my Twitch stream and my TikTok stream and my YouTube stream all at the same time. I'm using 2 softwares technically, but there are 3 different streams running at the same time on those 2 softwares that require different interactions. So I am running solo, and luckily I have experience doing a lot of live broadcasts with a low staff, so I'm used to this kind of stuff. But let's see here. Okay, can you give an example of how he's racist? I mean, I explained it to you yesterday, Megan, right? We had a great conversation. I'm still going through and editing that. I didn't realize how long we talked for. But let me pause this real fast. I need to pause this music. It's too relaxing for me to talk over this music, dude. I need some hyper music or something like that, like something with bass to it. So I'm gonna pause this real fast. And then I'm just gonna start my recording on TikTok just to have it recording there. Okay, so look, we're not gonna look at politics. We can look at politics, but I want to look at Donald Trump's actions far before he ever got into politics. There's a term called redlining. I talked about this yesterday, but I'm going to repeat it. This is the practice of denying money. The way that it translated for Donald Trump specifically was denying access to buying property for black people. So this is a term that is used to deny people of color access to things, primarily because it costs a lot of money, which means that you do not approve these people to get a loan. So it is not directly him denying them a house. It is him denying the people the ability to apply for a loan, to apply and get approved for a loan to buy a house, right? This is a common practice that was done back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? When black people were able to actually own property and have rights and vote and things of that nature. This was something that Donald Trump was very, very involved in, right? There are documentations from his documents where people are marked off, and these are all people of color, right? He made it to where black people couldn't get loans. No, this guy, he's a real estate agent. He denied people access to being able to get housing because they were black, right? But the series of events that leads to that, you know, I'm trying to be thorough here. There's a process, and that process also requires applying for a loan, right? So when you know people, you're able to recommend who can and cannot apply for a loan, especially when you have more influence. So it is not a direct, you can't buy my house on documentation. It is the fact that there are multiple black people on record applying for houses and not being allowed for valid reasons, right? There's no reason really listed or given. Let me see what he's saying here in the chat. Somebody's talking to Silver Camaro. Silver Camaro is kind of a troll. Like I made points to what he's saying, but he's not actually trying to acknowledge what I'm saying here. Let me make sure I got this multi-guest. Do I have to hit invite? Okay, you should be able to request up. You should be able to request up now. If you don't see that button, let me know. I'm going to leave it over to the side over here and make it a little smaller. I can't make it smaller. Oh, Dunsford, what did you say here? It says comparable period, so that's 4 years of Obama. Guess that's why they called him the deporter. Oh yeah, I don't know if you just looked this up, but Obama definitely deported a lot of people, and Biden, I think, also if you're able to check Biden's deportation rates, because I think both Obama and Biden deported more than Donald Trump, which further illustrates my point that Trump is incompetent. Right? That's not my prompt. My prompt isn't Trump is incompetent. That's implied. But I can put that on there if you guys need me to put that on there, because Trump is very incompetent. There's tons of evidence of that. Yeah. I don't work hourly. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, he's probably salary. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you already said, yeah, you said your salary. Yeah. You are not correct. So he rented to black people back in the day. I don't know about renting. Like, I'm talking about buying property specifically. Not renting. And you wouldn't see the tax cuts. Sorry about your luck. No, we're talking about tax cuts in the chat. I'm not a big economic guy, so I'm not going to try to even tackle that one. Really long documented history of statements, policies, and actions. Jeddah. Okay, I see you, Jeddah, in the chat. Let's see here. Air Rail Mech says, "Aw, another liberal crying." Forum. I'm not a liberal, my guy. You probably didn't hear me say this, but I think that the Democratic Party should not exist. So I'm not a Democrat. I mentioned this at length earlier, that I have a lot of complaints about the Democrats, and I'm not very liberal. So you can try to just project a label onto me to make yourself feel better by calling me a liberal and saying this is a liberal crying form, but valid, intelligent human beings have very valid, rational issues with Donald Trump and his following. And a lot of people just cannot cope with the fact that they are supporting the bad guy. I think that a lot of you guys cannot support the fact that you are following somebody that is horrible, amoral, and does not care about anybody. Yeah, my prompt says he's racist, but he doesn't care about most people. He's a very selfish human being and will throw anybody under the bus, including white people. So it's just a really weird way to interact with people. And if you feel so strongly, why don't you go ahead and request up? Megan was great. I talked to Megan yesterday for an hour, so she has really put in her due diligence to have a conversation and try to be good faith about this. So yeah, y'all be brave and request up. If you don't see the button, let me know so I can try to get that turned on for you. NH5 is in the chat going ham here. I'm curious to know what he like. Taxes. I understand it when it comes to like talking about the policies and stuff, but when we start talking about the specifics, I get lost in the sauce, man. I need somebody to like, tutor me on that. That's a temporary tax reduction, not a tax cut. Yeah, it's not a you're not a liberal either. They're just Republicans. Wait. You're not a liberal either. Also, if you align with racists, you are a racist. Thank you. Somebody banned me from a Discord chat. A MAGA group banned me from a Discord chat because he wanted to debate me when I said that if you do not disavow or separate yourself from hate groups, if you go to a rally and the KKK and neo-Nazis and the Proud Boys are there and you're not disavowing and separating yourself from them, you're the reason why the Nazis got as far as they did. I don't understand how you don't understand that. You're looking the other way while people in your proximity are publicly expressing hate and violent intentions towards people that don't look like them or don't act like them. And you're not disavowing these people, and you're acting like they don't exist or they're not a big deal. When a good group of people in America feel terrified or feel intimidated or feel threatened by these by these groups of people. But like somehow we're the crazy ones while you're ignoring people who are threatening the safety of people or questioning the legitimacy of people around you. It's really weird behavior. And it's so strange to me that these people don't want to admit or can't accept that they're the bad guy. Like, you're supporting the bad guy. You probably are the bad guy. And you can try your best to try to convince me that I'm wrong. But as a black man in America, we've been gaslit for years to think that they're out to get us, but it's not actually happening, right? Nobody is seeing it other than other black people. Therefore, we're just crazy and paranoid and lazy or whatever it may be. When in fact, the better technology gets, the more footage we keep finding of cops really utilizing their power to an extreme degree to really arresting people that do not deserve to get arrested. We have statistics that prove that black people have a higher exoneration rate than white people by a concerning amount. I don't want to believe that it's a 50-degree exoneration rate when it comes to violent crimes for black Americans. I don't remember what it was for white Americans. I did look this up. I'd like to look up the contrary to things, but man, y'all do some heavy coping. Y'all do some heavy coping, MAGA. I don't understand how you live in this world. Okay, I do understand it because most of y'all are Christians, and I have nothing against Christianity. I have nothing against Christians that practice Christianity. I do have an issue with the ideology of Christians because here's the thing. This is not for MAGA. You guys are going to ignore this. I know you're going to ignore this. This is for everybody else in the chat that is not MAGA, because contrary to popular belief, everyone who's not MAGA, one, doesn't have Trump derangement syndrome because that's not a real thing, you fucking idiot. And then two, not every person that doesn't like Trump is a fucking liberal. I don't know why that's so hard for y'all to accept. Like any person who is MAGA, if you have labeled somebody a liberal before they even say they're a liberal, you got a problem, bro. You got a problem. You're trying your best to character assassinate someone so that you can convince yourself that you're the good guy. When in fact, what I was saying earlier is that Christians, I believe, have a unique ability, not just Christians, but religious people in general, but especially Christians, have this unique ability to believe things that aren't rational. And you can make yourself believe things that aren't rational. And when you can do that, you can justify anything because you can think something to justify why you feel that way. And so you're acting like the villain, but in your head, you think you're the good guy. And that is incredibly scary, even if you have good intentions. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I missed who that was, but I greatly appreciate you following in the chat. Again, thank you guys. Every time I do these live streams, y'all come through on the TikTok side, so it's crazy. Let me read this Twitch chat real fast because I missed this. It says it's comparable periods. 4.4 million deportations under Biden. Wait, so Biden deported more people than Obama? Can you link the source for that, if you don't mind, if you're still around? If you can link the source for that, because that's really interesting. Obama and Biden both seem to have deported more people, right? At least in Trump's first term, which he did talk about deporting people during that term. I don't know how much he's learned, but it doesn't seem like he's on a good track this term either. But let me see here. It says, I am Christian and not MAGA. This is probably an interesting debate, but I agree that MAGA aren't. Interesting. Aren't Christian. Oh man, this is a tough one. I used to be a Christian. I'm an atheist now. Do you know what the no true Scotsman fallacy is in H5? Because we're getting into that territory if I or you say that these aren't real Christians. Because I agree that I don't think these people, man, as much as I know about the Bible has some messed up stuff in it. So I don't think I would even say they're not actually Christians. I think a lot of them are true Christians, and perhaps more true Christians than liberal Christians. I think liberal Christians, in my opinion, are not real Christians. They're just good people with good intentions and misinformed by their religion. I think that, and I say liberal, I mean anybody who has common decency for their fellow man to the point to where they're not willing to infringe on their rights. I don't think that's very liberal. I think that's just not conservative, right? I don't want to infringe on anybody's rights, and I don't want anybody infringing on mine. I used to be a registered libertarian. So if I'm anything, the closest thing that I was in terms of political party was a libertarian. Okay, if that tells you anything. I'm not anymore. I'm not a registered libertarian anymore. But I think that people who are decent human beings who happen to be Christians are just decent human beings who happen to be Christians. They're not good Christians. I think they are not true Christians, where these MAGA people are closer to the true religion because they're very Old Testament Christians. And in the Bible, Jesus never disavows or goes against the New Testament. He, in fact, says that he's here to make that come true, right? To bring it to fruition. So the New Testament doesn't really, because it's a little bit lighter and not as heavy in fire and brimstone. I'm sorry. I think that the true Christians are the MAGA people, right? I had to process that in my head a little bit. But yeah, because the Bible, again, the Bible is very like heavy metal. Like it is very messed up. Like one of the first things they talk about is incest and a guy marrying his cousin and stuff. But I'm digressing into the Bible, but like I have the audiobook and I have the Bible app, the King James version right now. I want to go through some of the other versions, but I'm very interested in the Bible. So even though I used to be a Christian, I'm no longer, I probably know the Bible better than most people. Like I got bookmarks in my Bible app and in the audiobooks because I like study this stuff, right? Just for fun. Yeah. Let me see here. Dems infringe on our rights more than other groups. Okay. So Silver Camaro, how do they infringe on our rights? Again, you should be able to request up. So come on up and talk to me about this. Tell me exactly how. I'll even invite you into the chat if you're still around. It looks like he might have left. Looks like he might have cowered it out. But yeah, Megan, I don't know if I properly answered your question, but I would encourage you to look into redlining. I wanted to use that as the first example because a lot of people will dismiss certain things that Trump did because it's policy or because other people did it. Like Project 2025, he didn't write that. He's just making it happen. He's moving things out of the way to make that happen. So it's really easy to scapegoat the organization that wrote that. I can't think of their name right now. And there's also the nose guy, the guy. Oh, what is his name? The guy that was talking to the FCC that was threatening them, not the FCC chair, but the is it Michael something? The Heritage Foundation was the people who wrote the Project 2025. Thank you. And then there's the really creepy guy that's been talking a lot lately and being very weird. But anyways, we can talk about deportation, right? Again, let's go ahead and just talk about deportation, right? I don't like this topic because I don't really care about it either way. I think it is an important topic, but how we talk about it is so stupid that I lose interest in the conversation because the people that complain about the borders don't know what the hell they're talking about. And the jobs that are being taken by these people, you wouldn't do anyway. And if you would, then you probably suck at it because they're hiring somebody else that can probably do it better than you for cheaper. So you're mediocre, not you, Megan, not you, right? These mediocre people react to that. I try not to just impose a whole ideology on the people, especially after I've talked to them. Silver Camaro might have left. I don't see him in the chat. Oh, no, he's here. Why can't I invite him up? You must have permissions turned off or something. I can't invite you up to the call. So I don't know if you're banned or something, or if you did something bad, or if you're set to private, but I'm trying to get you up here to talk to you. I just put this on here because I'm not trying to get demonetized. If you don't know why I'm spelling it this way, if you think I can't spell, if it triggers you, I like triggles. If it triggles you, if it triggles you, I'm sorry that I'm not sorry. Because I'm not getting demonetized. I'm about that money, all right? I'm good faith. I have integrity. I'm not trying to do all the crazy things or misinform people. I'm not trying to straw man people. I'm not trying to misrepresent people. I'm trying to be as honest and open as I can, which makes it very hard to monetize myself. So when I put certain words on the screen, TikTok and YouTube and Twitch might not like that. I'm sorry if I'm getting an attitude with you. You just asked a simple question. That's fair. But I had so many people yesterday. I didn't really interact with a lot of them because we were having some great conversations. But if you have a problem with the way that I spelled racist, after I explained it to you, shut up. Shut up. Okay. 100 years ago before political switch. Oh, but anyways, so let's get back into immigration, right? First off, if we talk about just the facts, Dunsford in the Twitch chat has done a great job of helping me with the numbers of understanding actual success, right? We can talk about ethics. I think that ethics are often a very subjective topic, even if I'm very biased towards what my ethics might be. I understand and can acknowledge that those things are subjective and open to a lot of interpretation, debate, criticism, etc. But when it comes to hard numbers from the sources, the same source, I believe, that would be giving us the Trump, Biden, and Obama numbers don't lie. I mean, the people do about numbers, but if those numbers are correct, assuming those numbers are correct, Trump has done a worse job than the other two presidents that are more liberal, the Democrats, right? And on top of that, we've seen far more public executions from ICE than, I mean, I don't know how many documented cases there are of just shootings in broad daylight from riots caused by immigration. I have to imagine that Obama and Biden had people protesting the immigration stuff. Like, you're always going to have your liberal people being mad about immigration. So it's like you have these two people deporting the hell out of immigrants. Why were they more successful than this guy who's willing to go violent and kill actual civilians? How many civilians were killed under Donald Trump? I don't know, right? And I want to find, like, if you have these stats, bring them on up. Again, bring it on up. If you have stats that prove that Obama or Biden killed more Americans from ICE than Trump has, bring it up. Bring it on up. I'll wait. I'll wait. Trump is incompetent. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like that's already implied. You know, NH5, you're smart, so I think you already understand that. I'm trying to edit a video that I had a conversation yesterday. I'm trying to edit this video. This guy called me an anti-Semite. Megan, I don't know if you were there for this. This is before your conversation, but this guy was trying to sell me on the Jews being the bad guy. And this guy literally called MAGA, and he called MAGA NPCs, and he said that Trump was a horrible idiot, like horrible human being. But for some reason, the people who support Donald Trump and Donald Trump himself are all being misled by a group of people who have a different religion. But somehow, those misled people do not deserve accountability for supporting something that is incredibly dangerous, right? And that's the thing. To bring it back, yeah, I feel like it's not hard to understand that Trump is racist. If you don't understand that, like, I need y'all to come up here and talk to me, and like I can help you understand, because these text chats are great. But y'all, I am not somebody who tries to make myself believe what I want. I think that, you know, Megan, I can have you back up here for a little bit. We have another hour to, like, I'll probably keep it to like 20 minutes or so if there's more people requesting up. If no one requests up, then, you know, we can chat for a good while. But I feel like from our conversation, you didn't want to believe that Trump was racist. And in doing so, when you don't want to believe something, people have the ability to rationalize things. And so I think we had a great conversation, but I felt like there was a wall there that you were not willing to go through or step through. Like, you weren't willing to go through that door. Who is Baseman? I don't see him in the chat. Oh, I see you requesting up. Cool. I'm going to stop this recording and then bring up a new one. All right. Let me bring on Megan here. So we got a conversation coming on up. So we got Megan coming back. We talked yesterday, just for the TikTok, so that they don't give me any issues. Can you just tell me how old you are? And you already said you voted for Trump before, but yeah, how old are you? And hello.
I'm 38.
Oh, I don't hear you.
Oh, hang on a second.
Can you hear me? Is my sound on? I think you might be muted on your side or something like that. Let me see here. Yeah, it says you're in the call. Oh, invite to unmute? You should just be unmuted. You can hear her? Why can't I hear her?
You can't hear me?
It's me then. It's me, Jojo. It's me, Dio.
Okay. They can hear me. Why can't you?
Hold on. Please hold. I'll figure it out.
Stand by.
Let me go to audio. Oh, maybe this is it. Hello? Hey, okay, I can hear you now. Sorry about that. All right, we got it. Cool. I thought the redlining would be a good example. I'm pretty sure we talked about that yesterday. I explained that, and then I explained it today. And then, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if the DOJ took it up. This was a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think he got in trouble for it though. Yeah. A while ago. Well, do you know what the reasons were? What did it list? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if like, are you saying that based off of your research, you didn't find like you confirmed that they were denying housing or access to housing to black people, but the reason why he did it was to sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. Again, you don't just because you're racist doesn't mean you can't screw over other people too. Like it's not like I how many black people did he actually sell houses to? Okay. Hmm. How do you define racism? Like, you don't need to give me like a textbook definition, but the way that you're talking about this makes me wonder that if we see the term racist differently. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair summation. I would agree with a primary, a good amount of that. Do you think that a person who is racist can't leverage a person that they are not a fan of? Like a person who's racist, do you think that they can leverage a like you? Oh, this guy is useful, but he's black. Do you think that a racist person would still work with that person? Sure. If somebody can make you money, do you think it would be frowned upon to let those people in to do things? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, and I think the argument feels the same way from either side because there's like a I don't want to call it a bias, but I think there's a worldview on both of our ends where we see a certain thing, and for me, I try not to make it like a confirmation or anything like that. But I feel like the way that you perceive racism, um, from my point of view, is certain behaviors aren't either possible or rational in terms of if you look at it as a racist act. And I'm trying to make this make sense. I feel like I worded that very poorly. Uh, mhm, mhm, mhm. They like racist people tend to believe the same thing. Is that what you said? I was reading the chat a little bit. So I try to look away from the chat when people are talking, but carry on. Yeah, like stereotyping. Yeah. Okay, I got you now. Yeah, I think that's very possible. I do think that racism is a lot more nuanced and complicated, especially when somebody is aware that what they think might be perceived as racist. It gets even more complicated because there's social decorum and there, you know, like cancel culture, for example. Like people know what to say and what not to say. That's sort of where dog whistles come into play too, but that's a whole nother conversation we don't need to distract ourselves with right now. But yeah, it sounds like you're describing the mindset of someone who can be racist. Those are all elements. I don't think all of them have to be prevalent. I don't think it has to be even malicious. And I'm gonna, like, for the chat and for you, my take on racism is probably more nuanced than like the average black guy. I'm willing to grant a lot, and I'm willing to what's the opposite of grant, or like concede points as well, just for the sake of conversation. And when it comes to racism, yeah, I think that people can have a very stereotyped view of other people. And when it comes to Donald Trump and the administration, I think it's very hard to notice if you're not experiencing it. What ethnicity are you? I didn't ask. Okay. And you know, my wife is white, so you know, again, not for you, but people in the chat, like I don't hate white people or anything like that. My wife, if anything, like she's more critical of white people than I am. But yeah, I mean, history, that the reason I talk about white people is because of history, white men primarily. But anyways, were you gonna say anything before I carry on? Yeah. Yeah. So I want to try to help with this conversation in terms of helping you understand that, like, what he's doing is racist. Oh man, I want to dive into Project 2025, but let's just stick to the immigration conversation. Huh? Okay. Now, I feel like I would have to also throw in the word, just in general, prejudice towards other groups. I'm an atheist, and in this, they seem to do a very good job of propping up Christianity, which that is not like the way that this is all. I'm going to break down in the Project 2025. There's aspects of racism, and I'm trying to not let my ADHD go all over the place here. But there's also the aspect I mentioned before where they start talking about Christianity, which gets into the separation of church and state. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Dane Dante, I think it said. But let me go ahead and meet you where you're at. What are your thoughts on Project 2025, and what were you going to say? Like it all? Okay. What aspects do you like about it? Okay. What aspects of it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm fine with looking into the 2025 Project 2025. I am not great at. I'm looking over it now because I'm terrible at remembering all the aspects of it, and I don't want to misquote anything. I don't want to take anything out of context. So I was hoping that there was an aspect that you might have liked about it that we could have picked apart or talked about. And then something else you said made me think. Oh, hold on. Let me replace my battery real quick. My camera died. Yeah. I got two cameras. Let me go ahead and turn this one on real fast for you guys. There we go. Now you guys can see me changing this out real fast. Well, before we, I guess, dig into that, because I want to understand I'm going back over it now to find some of the aspects and talk about it, because again, my memory is terrible. And I don't want to misquote anything. I have some notes that I'm trying to go find, but I'm a misorganized note taker. So I want to grab that, not just go from memory. Oh, that's good. I usually just do digital notes. So I know a lot of it gets into the civil rights stuff. The issue that I had was like a lot of the stuff that were referred to the civil rights, but I want to find the specific terminology in the document, which I'm sure for the followers sounds a little boring. If there's anybody in the chat that wants to help out, just make sure you give a source. I don't want to take people's word for it if you just type in the information, but I will allow you guys, if TikTok allows it, to put links in the chat. And then I'm going to double check Twitch real fast because I missed that. Oh, Discord. Thank you. Thank you for the links. Thank you for the links. I'm sorry. These are deportation rates. Okay, I'll go back to that in a second. I'm reading some of my Discord messages from other people real fast. Let me not get too distracted by that. I'm a gamer, so I live on Discord pretty much. Also, if you guys are interested, it's not on TikTok. I do have a Discord. You can probably just DM me on TikTok, and I'll send you a link until I can get a link posted. Or it should be on my link tree, which better be a link in my bio. I think it's a link in my bio. I can double check that later. I was an hour early today getting everything set up, and I still started like 6 minutes late to the stream, just trying to run all of this at the same time. But let me go back to the Project 2025 so I can find specifically the civil rights issues. I want to find outlaw discrimination. Yeah. Passage outlawed. So they're supposed to be removing some sort of discrimination act. Like the way that they worded in, oh man, I do remember this. A lot of what's worded in the Project 2025 documentation comes off very patriotic and fair, when in fact, if you were to take the situation into context, and this is too ambiguous for anybody to like care about, but I'm still going to say it and finish the thought. But the way that they word a lot of these things, it comes off very ambiguous if you don't know what's going on. But then for the people it applies to, it screws them over. So like this is an unrelated topic just to illustrate this, but like the don't say gay thing, right? A lot of people feel very strongly in certain situations. Like this refers to the military, not the schools. But in the military, it's like, if you're gay, just don't say anything, right? Don't talk about it. Don't be about it. Nothing. Right. But the issue is for gay people, you're basically saying you're not allowed to be yourself, right? And it sounds like it's being fair. Don't talk about your sexuality is kind of what they're saying, but they're not saying don't talk about being straight. You can talk about your wife, you can talk about your husband if you're straight. But if you're like, oh yeah, my husband's waiting back home for me, and you're a guy, the punishment for that can be as broad as you'd like it to be. There's different don't say gay bills. There was one for the military. I don't know what that one was called. If anybody in the chat can provide that link for me, the one in Florida, I think, applied to schools. Right, that was along the lines of what, like not DEI, but critical race CRTs. Critical race theory was also another aspect in Florida. I think that DeSantis, right? No, yeah, DeSantis. Yeah, that was something separate. That is still an issue that I remember being annoyed about, because I do think that the same issue applies. But I wanted to use adults because it gets weird talking about kids, and I think that you can apply the same aspect to children and to schools, but it's a little different, right? But in the military, this was a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing. I hope it's not a thing anymore. But the don't say gay situation sounds like it might be fair, because if you're especially if you're a Christian or you're conservative, yeah, I don't want to hear about it, right? That's kind of, does that sound normal to you, or would you disagree? I don't want to mischaracterize, like, in not necessarily you, but have you seen people like that are like, just don't talk about it, right? Right. But you, mm, in what? I mean, I don't know much about that one. Oh, I see your request up. I'll get you in just a second. Let's finish this portion and then I'll bring you up. Well, but we can chat on that one, but I want to stick to this example because I think it's a little bit closer to like Project 2025. And do you, before I say anything else, do you understand the argument that I'm making when I say don't say gay and how that might affect people? Like what the example I gave? Do you see how that might be discriminatory, even though it's trying to be, it sounds like it's worded as anti-discriminatory? No, what? Hmm. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's say we're both in the military. You're a girl, I'm a guy, right? And we're just, we're sitting at the base and I'm like, we're chatting it up and you share a picture of your husband with me, right? And like, oh man, he's so cute, blah, 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 blah. One, like that wasn't my example, just to be clear, but that in itself is an example of being gay that can be interpreted as an offense. So that example that I didn't mean to be an example of just complimenting your husband could get me in trouble, right? Just by saying that. If I was a girl, that wouldn't be the issue. Now, what I was going to say is like, oh, well, let me go ahead and open my phone and I'll show you my husband and I'll show you my adopted son or whatever, like, biological stepson or whatever it may be, husband, son, biological son, my stepson, whatever. I start doing that, or I even text you the picture, right, of like our wedding photo. I can be done. I can be court-martialed. I can be in trouble. Doesn't matter. All I did was have a good conversation with you, just sharing my loved one, right? Showing my partner and my kids. Does that make sense to you? Or I suspect that you're going to deny the possibility of that happening, but okay. Yeah. And they don't use terms like gay. Again, that's part of the whole like quote unquote dog whistle thing where they put this terminology that sounds fair, but then they call it the don't say gay bill or act. Mm-hmm. Sure, but is there any documentation there any bills that have been passed or made that punish you for that exclusively for being straight? Like if I were straight and I showed you my wife, yeah, they don't say. Yeah, hold on, what is it actually called? What do you mean? What? I'm not familiar with any documentation or rules that were enforced for talking about your spouses in the military. There's a don't ask, don't tell, DADT. No, well, so okay, the don't ask, don't tell was an official United States policy on military service of homosexual people of a period of over 17 years, starting in the 1990s, right? So this isn't happening anymore, just to be clear. But this is an example that I'm trying to illustrate because this I think was passed by Clinton. This was a Democrat thing. Yeah, it was. You're correct. Yeah, absolutely. So this was in the 90s. Department of Defense was issued back in 1993. Came into effect February 1994 until September of 2011. That's crazy. The policy prohibited military personnel from discriminating against or harass. Oh no, this is different actually. Oh no, this is the same thing. Discriminating against or harassing closeted homosexuals or bisexual service members. So this actually barred that. Sort of. Members and applicants while barring openly gay. Wait, what? The policy prohibited military personnel from discriminating against or harassing closeted homosexuals or bisexual service members or applicants while barring openly gay, lesbian, and bisexual persons from military service. So I was actually somewhat wrong because they were actively discriminating against people from even being in the military. So if you're gay, you couldn't be in the military in the 90s and early 2000s. No, the don't ask, don't tell thing is what made, like, if you were an open gay person, you couldn't apply. You could only be a closeted gay, which also infringes on your freedom of speech. In the military, that's different. So I don't think that necessarily needs to be applied to the same degree, but I think it is still problematic that somebody can't just be like their own sexual preference in this time. And like no, but this is an example of how this happens, right? This sounds like it's saying very clearly that if you're gay, don't say shit about it, right? And you can join the military. And this isn't something that is new and isn't something that has gone away. Like, this is the same kind of thing they do where it sounds like they're being fair, but this is a democratic policy, mind you. So imagine the conservatives trying to pass things and how deceptive they are, right? The reason why I think this failed is because you had to be a closeted gay. That innately infringes on your freedom of speech, because you can't always control who outs you as a gay person. If any, you have to be completely secretive about a life. Like you have to be actively trying to keep people out of your personal life in order to maintain being in the military. If you're a very patriotic human being that wants to serve and take out people across seas, you can only do that if you're a closeted gay. If you're gay as well, you can only do that if you hide that part of your life at that time. This is not in effect right now, but this is an example of what I mean, how this is discriminatory, right? We can agree this is like, now that this is done and over and how it's been worded and understood, like formally, you can understand how this is discriminatory, correct? If you were going through this at this time frame, though, do you think you would have seen this and understood that? And do you think it would have been communicated to you through the sources that you get it? You think you would have thought it was discriminatory at the time? Knowing what you know about yourself, you think that you'd have an issue with this? Why do you say that? It's not like a trick or anything. That's fair. Okay. Do you consider yourself, you are conservative, right? Or like you're still a Trump supporter? Okay, yeah, all right, just making sure. Not necessarily. It's more that you don't see how he has a problem or his administration. Okay. Sorry? Let me go find some of these examples. Personally, I think the issue that I've had with him is more so how he's treating trans people right now. And that's a pivot, so I don't want to use that as an excuse. I mean, there's a lot of examples about how he's. Are you fine with switching over to that? Because that's a pivot on my side, not your side. All right. I'll look into some more stuff, but there are some documents that are not specifically towards gays, more of like as a umbrella, the LGBT. In terms of trans, though, that's like he is very specifically going. Hold on, let me double check my request real fast because somebody requested earlier. I want to see if he's still there because I'm sorry about that guy. I think NH5. Did you request up here, or was it somebody else? Somebody with a mask. Anyway though, oh, hold on. Let me see. He's in the chat. I might pull him in here real fast before I get onto this next topic. But I mean, one, when he talks about trans people, he tends to say trans for all. So he does a thing where he is trying to convince a lot of MAGA or conservative people that liberals are trying to give trans for all. Like this is a term that he uses, trans for all. So the way that he addresses the trans topic is as if everyone is trying to have trans people forced onto you. A lot of the issue with gay people, honestly, is a lot of the people that follow Trump and the way that they talk about people being gay, and how he might reshare those things. So he doesn't directly usually say those kinds of things. Tetris, yes, you can come up, Magnus. I'll call you Magnus. I can't read your first name. Yeah, I mean, he's on record many times talking about how people are trying to force trans people onto you, cross-dressers onto you, a lot of the LGBTQ stuff. So he's very disrespectful about how he talks about trans people and really scapegoats them whenever he has a chance, even when it doesn't really necessarily apply, considering how low of a rate that trans people are. I don't think it's an ideology. I think there are people who might have an identity with that and might be very overzealous about it, like you have annoying vegans and the CrossFit people back in the day. I know they can be very obnoxious, but I don't think trans ideology is being pushed onto people. It's like, again, I use this example a lot where it's like Pluto. I was very salty when they said Pluto was no longer a planet. I was irrationally annoyed and refused to accept that reality that Pluto was not a planet, right? I know I'm not the only person that was like this. When this happened. A lot of people now probably don't even know that Pluto ever was a planet, which is weird to think about. But either way, I was the one being irrational in that situation, and science proceeded without me. And it took me a few years to come to terms with, okay, what is a planet and what isn't a planet? And now I understand better. It's the same thing with trans people. It took me years and years to understand what a trans person was and why I should care and why they need to be acknowledged and why I need to change what pronouns I call them and all this kind of stuff. It took me a lot of education to understand what the hell a trans person even was, let alone why I should care and why I should treat them equally. It took me a while to figure that out. And when I did, it made me understand that, oh, they're being discriminated against. Like just their existence is against the law in certain forms and fashion. The bathrooms, right? It is dangerous for you to use a bathroom. Like a lot of times, depending on if they've changed how they appear, or even if they haven't changed how they appear, they're in danger of using either bathroom, because if they're a very butch woman, that is like even a straight woman, straight heterosexual woman looks like a guy, goes into the girl's bathroom, she can get the shit beat out of her or the cops called on her. If a very feminine man goes into the women's bathroom, right? I guess if men are all sexual harassers, then that man going into a woman's bathroom is incredibly dangerous, according to MAGA logic, right? It fully manly man or a trans man that is very easily like identifiable as a trans man, I guess they're in danger too if they go into the man's bathroom, since they associate with it being a man. A trans woman going into the woman's bathroom or the man's bathroom is a danger either way. You're either going to get the shit beat out of you or you're going to have the cops called on you. So their existence is also against the law, because if you can have the cops call on you just for using facilities that you identify as, then you're being discriminated against. That's called segregation, right? So yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're testimonies, so I can only go by what they've said. I've never experienced it personally, since I'm a cisgender dude, straight black guy. I'm sure there are, because people can be assholes. But no, but the issue is that was an asshole that happened to be trans. Sure. No, I understand that. But your feeling of discomfort is not a justification to infringe on people's rights or freedoms, right? Like your feelings. They infringe on your feelings, maybe. In the bathroom? so can you. You'll feel safer with a bunch of guys, wouldn't you? They're strong men, right? No, so I your comfort does not supersede somebody's freedom. Your comfort does not supersede somebody's freedom and rights. You feel uncomfortable. You feel unsafe. Those are feelings in your head that you are making up, even if they are completely valid. If a very, very ugly ass woman that looks like a man but is completely cisgendered woman comes into the bathroom and you feel unsafe, that's your problem. That's your issue. That's not her fault. No. I'm saying, but no, a straight woman, a straight cis, like non-transgender woman comes into the bathroom and she looks like a guy, mustache and all. Sure. But they're not calling the cops on the guys. They're just trying to go where they want to go to the bathroom and feel comfortable. No. Your comfort doesn't trump freedom. Not that their comfort trumps your freedom. I don't have an issue with it because y'all have stalls. Like I'm kind of a prude. I don't like peeing next to other guys. I went to a bar the other day and there was a bathroom that had 2 stalls with no divider. Guys, you know what I'm saying here? No divider, and there was a door. The door to the stall in the bathroom, you can't not look at the guy's junk because you get the profile coming out of the bathroom stall. That is fucking ridiculous. I don't want to see no guy's junk. I don't want to see no girl's junk. I just want to go to the bathroom, have my privacy, and go, right? I don't care if they're a guy or a girl. I'm going to feel uncomfortable around anybody. I'm a very private person. I don't want to take a shit with other people around me. I don't want to pee with other people making eye contact with me. I want complete privacy. But you know what? This is America. So my feelings don't fucking matter. I got to go to the bathroom. I have to deal with other men being around me, despite the fact that I am incredibly uncomfortable. I have to be a big boy, pull my pants down, and get the fuck over it. Just like with you. We Americans, we are prudes, and we don't think we're prudes, but we are. It is a person using the bathroom. You have either one of 2 assumptions. Trans people are all horrible, or on average are horrible, or all guys, aka trans women, or guys and trans women are all horrible. You have a preconceived notion, which is a whole man versus the bear situation in the woods, yada yada yada. But you're not understanding. An asshole can be an asshole even if they're trans. A asshole being trans does not mean that they are trans because they are an asshole. If a man or a trans woman comes and assaults you at the female bathroom, that person is an asshole and needs to go to jail. They are not an asshole because they are a trans person and they didn't succeed with their crime because they're a trans person, or fail at their crime because they're a trans person. They're an asshole who took advantage of their situation of going into the girl's bathroom. But the issue that I'm having with you is that you're doing 2 things. You're confusing your comfort and your feelings with freedoms and liberties while also being willing to support somebody else's freedoms and liberties, and not understanding the situation that you're imposing a crime onto a group of people. You're stereotyping all trans people as if they're all going to harass women when they go to the man's bathroom. That's not the case. Assholes are going to be assholes no matter if they're trans, if they're straight, they're gay, whatever. Assholes will always be assholes. And that's what I'm trying to help you understand. Honestly, I don't know what you mean by pointless. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's a good question that we need to consider. I don't know the answer to that question. I think that we are, the thing is, right, that the problem that you are, not the problem, the example that you're giving is a fair question that deserves to be answered with some consideration. I'm not going to bullshit you and say that I have an answer, because I honestly don't know yet. I'm still learning about the whole situation. And honestly, criminals are criminals. So I think that, you know, criminals, I don't know if you know this, but men criminals can get assaulted by other men, right? So assaults and violence can happen regardless of what gender they are and what other genders are around them. And things can be inserted no matter whether whether it's biological or an object, right? Inanimate object. Yeah. I think separate spaces is fine. Again, I think that, I'm sorry?
The comfort or feelings of the women inside that space. Like, for example, there's a high school volleyball team. The whole team got kicked out of their locker room. This happened in Idaho, I believe. And because they did not feel comfortable with the trans girl that was in there watching them all get dressed and undressed. So
Sure.
when they
I'm gonna mute you up real quick
and said that they didn't feel comfortable, the whole team got kicked out except the trans girl.
Sure.
Because they were being bigoted, because they didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking, like, with your logic, we just shouldn't have separate spaces.
Well, I'm not trying to find the conclusion yet. I think it's important for us to actually acknowledge what's happening before we try to build a solution, right? Because the issue that we're having is you're trying to build on a foundation that's not established yet. We haven't established certain points that I've talked about, right? One of those examples is understanding your feelings versus freedoms, right? I understand the concept of a safe space, and I'm fine with like exploring that concept, because I would prefer to have a bathroom with just me in it personally. If I had my way, I think that's a very expensive way to go about things. Or honestly, I think a bathroom with multiple stalls, men and women, I still would feel the same way I feel now personally. But again, my feelings aren't the issue. Your feelings aren't the issue. It's more about fairness and freedom before that. A bathroom at a public location, like if we're talking about your bathroom, fine, but we're talking about a public place where people just want to do something. Mm-hmm. And if you felt uncomfortable with a black man drinking from your water fountain, does that mean that we should start separating water fountains so that you can drink from a water fountain that you feel comfortable at, because it makes you, it's making you feel uncomfortable with me being there while you drink your water?
Race and sex is not the same thing.
You're right. I mean, neither is gender, but yeah. But you understand my point though, right?
No.
Because there was a point in time where people didn't acknowledge black people, right? Our country and civilization as a whole is very immature when it comes to social issues. And so there's always this assumption from our civilization that we're the right ones, right?
Right.
And we care more about our comfort.
It's always been men throughout history that has
Mm-hmm.
been able to have the hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Women, like, overall, are not as powerful as men. Like, we have our rights because men let us have our rights.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Fine.
Right. So
mm-hmm.
I think it was very, like, nice, I guess I would say, to have separate spaces, because, you know, there are predators of men that can hurt women, but again, there are women
Mm-hmm.
predators also, but
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for a woman to fight off a woman than a woman to fight off a man.
Sure, but we're not talking about the logic of who.
But that's the difference, though, because you brought
No,
up
that's your justification for feeling unsafe, right?
But you brought up the example of race, and I was just saying, like,
yeah,
there's a difference between, feeling safe and when you're,
Sure, but if you feel unsafe because you're making up something in your head versus me threatening you and you feeling unsafe, there's a difference there, right?
Yeah.
You're making up a story in your head about somebody, you're making up an assumption, and you want to be rewarded for your assumption with safety.
What? No, I just want the spaces for women to continue to be spaces for women.
Thank you for the rose, by the way. Cue ball, I appreciate that. I understand that, and I understand the feeling is valid. Then we're talking about two things here. You're talking about your feelings and what you want, and I think that's fine, right? But what I'm talking about is
it doesn't matter.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Feelings, right?
No, because we're talking about the Constitution and like the law and understanding social science and what is a person and how do we acknowledge those people and what is fairness. What is actual legal fairness in terms of acknowledging somebody as a person? And there's an entitlement that I think, both of us might have, that we're entitled to certain things. I might agree with those entitlements, but those aren't the actual reality, or sometimes they shouldn't be the reality if it's discriminating against other people. My comfort shouldn't cause discrimination for other people. And the issue is that I feel like you're trying to cut off the conversation because of how you feel versus actually fully trying to understand and explore it. Because the thing is that the solution, neither of us might not have the solution, or neither of us might not like the solution. It might make us feel uncomfortable. But the thing is that sometimes we're so focused on how we feel, we don't realize how we are discriminating against other people.
So you would be okay for grown men to go and share spaces with your wife?
I think you're still missing my point, though. You're trying to build scenarios, which I think is fair. But I'm talking about something specific, and I would appreciate the confirmation one way or the other that you acknowledge that your feelings are separate from reality. Like your feelings don't justify you discriminating against somebody else, right? Can we acknowledge that?
Well, I don't have the right to be able to feel comfortable.
That's not what I said.
But that's what that is. But that's my feeling. If I'm feeling like uncomfortable, like
no, feeling comfortable is your choice. Nobody else can really like control that. That's your own mental state.
I don't have the right to that.
No, you have the right to it. You have the ability to do it. It's not a right. It's not in the Constitution. It's not something in the amendments that you have a right to feel comfortable. You have a right to pursue happiness and freedom.
Well, that's not in the Constitution either.
Sure.
That's in the.
But I mean, those are things that are actually stated. But I mean, that's the Declaration of Independence, I believe. But yeah, that's the only thing is that you have a right to those things. But there is no right given to you to feel comfortable that I know of. Y'all let me know in the chat. I don't know of that.
Okay, so it's a guy's right to be able to go into a woman's space.
I feel like it's a mischaracterization of what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying any guy is trying to go in there. The thing is that it seems like you live in a worldview where transgender people aren't actually women, right? Is that fair to say? You don't think a trans woman is an actual woman?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right.
But I'm not going to disrespect them and I'm going to treat them the way
sure
they treat me. Like,
right. And so I want to be fair. This is a very hard conversation to have publicly because people are going to villainize you for that. I disagree with you at this point, right? I used to agree a long time ago. And then I've had conversations. I have family members who are trans. I worked at a college. So I actually talked to people who, after I left working at the college, they came out and I talked to them and I learned a lot. I talked to a lot of trans people, gave them a lot of pushback, right? So I want to caution any of the liberals in chat to not be like super butthurt about what she's saying, because that's just honesty, right?
You changed your view on.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I ask you what makes a trans woman a woman?
Well, it starts with gender and understanding gender versus sex, right? And before I do though, hold on, let me get, because I've had Magnus on like mute for like 8 minutes in here, and he's been very, very patient. So
okay, I can mute.
Yeah, I think these are good questions, but let me just pause for a second. If you have to go, Megan, by all means, do what you got to do. If you're still around, we'll chat some more. But let me go ahead and bring Magnus on here. You had an anime profile, so you know, I gotta ask, how old are you, sir?
Oh, 19.
Okay, and what year were you born?
2007.
That's
Okay,
legit. My daughter's 19. She was born 2007.
nice. And then where were you? Are you a Trump supporter, or did you have something to say to Megan?
Oh, I actually have a few questions for you. Like,
Oh, sure.
like,
Are you a Trump supporter?
questions about the prompt. And
Yeah.
I'm not like a full-fledged supporter, but like on a few
Okay.
things, you know.
Sure.
Like I can differentiate between what's good and bad, you know.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not like a mindless drone.
All right.
But my first question is what are you thinking when kind of labeling MAGA as dangerous? Like, what's your intent behind it? Exactly.
Multifaceted. Oh, hey, Boshi in the chat, by the way. I'm sorry, I didn't see the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat's not popping up. I will add that to this as well. Why? Yeah, I'll add that. Ask your question one more time.
Like, what's your intent behind labeling MAGA as dangerous? You know?
Yeah, good question. It is multifaceted. One is just to get their attention, because I know MAGA gets triggered very easily. A lot of people in MAGA, obviously I'm generalizing a little bit. I'm not going to act like I'm not trying to bait them into having an interaction. Two, I just honestly believe that they are very dangerous. I do legitimately believe that if the opportunity and the situation was right, this would lead to the second coming of Nazi Germany, right? Obviously, it's not a one-to-one comparison, but I think the intentions and the capabilities and the possibility are there. But I think that we live in, I don't think that it's realistic to get to that level, but not for a lack of trying. Right. So I legitimately believe that MAGA is supporting something that is very dangerous. Right. They are dangerous because they are looking the other way, or outright supporting what is happening in this world, where we're able to see white men and women get shot in the broad daylight by federal officers for helping old people and expressing their feelings. Right. So there's a lot of things that they're letting slide, or cheering on, or ignoring, or encouraging fake news, sharing AI videos. Our president is sharing AI videos and nobody seems to have an issue with that. Our president is sharing like false news. He's lying all the time. He's not ever accountable. Somebody who has no accountability is a very dangerous human being. And anybody supporting that kind of person is fucking dangerous. So I legitimately think that there are a lot of people in America who are not MAGA who want to throw hands in a very physical way. And I'm a very non-physical person. I don't want us to get the violence. So if I have to call out and antagonize and villainize MAGA to help them understand that they are the problem, then I'm going to do that, because I don't want us to lead to a civil war. I want us to have a peaceful resolution. So that's why I'm here spending all my time trying to do this.
That kind of answered my first question there, but I have another one, and it might trigger a few people. But what makes you think trans people are trans?
What makes you think they're trans?
Yeah.
Honestly, it has less to do with what they think and more to do with a social decorum and understanding what gender actually is. So I honestly don't care whether or not they actually believe they are a woman or not. It's just a matter of, if someone wants to be called Susie instead of Johnny, I'll call him Susie instead of Johnny. If somebody wants to be a he instead of a she, then I'll say a he instead of a she. They got me for a while. I have a niece that goes by a nephew that goes by they them, right? There's a word that I think it's a very silly word, so I don't say it, and they're fine with me not saying it. It's called nibbling, as a gender neutral nephew or niece, right? In law. And I think that word is stupid. It sounds like something from Futurama, and I told them I'm not going to say that word. I feel very uncomfortable saying that. And they were like, cool, bet. And they were like, call me a nephew, whatever, right? So most people that I know are trans are very like reasonable human beings, and it has nothing to do with whether or not they believe that they are. It's the term that really helped me understand things, and also I think is a nonsensical term, but also a very profound term, is gender as a social construct, right? We think that gender is sex. So therefore, we assign gender to the biological markers that a human being has, the chromosomes, the body parts, etc. But what I've come to learn and understand is that gender is more of an expression / social, it's like social expression, more so than some sort of assignment of what your body can or can't do, or can or can't produce. So it's more of just a social decorum more than anything else, and understanding that like the way that people express themselves physically, we've been very restricted by social conditioning and things of that nature. So I don't really care what they think. I care about individuals, but I don't care if they think they're a girl or guy. It's just a matter of social decorum. Yeah.
It's kind of like a follow-up from what I heard.
Yeah.
But so what's with like the trans women and trans men? Because it seems like they're referring to sex there, rather than like something they want to be called.
Yeah, I think it's just an easy way for people to process the fact that they are outwardly saying, "Yo, I was born with this, but I'm choosing to be associate with this or identify as this." Does that answer your question? I'm not sure if I understood your question.
Yeah, I just wish they kind of like phrased it better, you know.
Sure, yeah, it's confusing.
I think it would really, you know, help them like kind of like get familiar with the like populace, you know, like get more support.
You know, I hate to say that I agree, but I think it's more important that I point out the situation that a lot of them are in, because I'm inclined, a past version of myself would have thought the same thing. It's the same thing. I feel like you're saying the same thing I said about Black Lives Matter when they were really big. And I thought you're basically saying their marketing was bad, right?
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it.
Their marketing is horrible.
And I don't disagree with you, but I also think from my own, so I'm not trans, so I don't know, but I can relate to being Black in the sense of desperation that things are not right. And when you're being treated differently because of who you are, you don't necessarily care about the marketing, you care about the solution. So usually it's the most on the nose thing, because I'm not worried, like, you know, in quotation marks here, I'm not worried about the marketing. I'm worrying about actually finding a solution to being discriminated against, you know, or being killed or being attacked or being mislabeled, or like when all of a sudden when somebody kills somebody, it's like, oh, one trans person killed somebody. All of a sudden all trans people are bad. But when a white guy with glasses shoots up a school multiple times back to back, no one ever associates that with white guys or tries to like dig into that. So I think that while I might agree that their marketing might be trash, I do want to emphasize the fact that their circumstances don't allow them to really focus on the branding. It's more about like survival and fairness. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
Okay.
I just think I think they're them getting discriminated to the point, like to the degree they are, is like kind of intertwined with the marketing, because it's making it seem like they're trying to like call themselves what people think they are not, you know.
Can you elaborate? I'm not sure I understand.
I mean, like you wouldn't say like a trans woman's an actual like biological woman, right?
Sex wise?
Yeah.
According to sex, no. Which is like that's a biological thing. Sure. If I understand that right, like I talk to the biologists, I follow biologists that debate this stuff, you know, evolutionary biologists and such. So I usually refer back to people who study this for a living.
Well, by calling them like trans women, I think like, you know, a lot of women are thinking like men are just trying to like replace them or make them and just making them feel uncomfortable, like Megan said earlier.
So I'm not going to say I agree or disagree. What I would throw in there too is I think, I don't want to say I would think this. If I wasn't a married man, you know, that had the life that I lived, maybe, you know, but I think there's a lot of people who would feel very catfished if they didn't label themselves as trans.
I'm not saying trans. I mean like the trans and then adding the woman or the men.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like if they didn't say they were a trans person, like let's say you were trying to date a girl, right? And she was like, "I'm a trans girl." You know, I would assume you'd be like, "That's not my thing." You know, have a good day, right? I would. I don't like male genitalia. It's not my thing. I don't like mustaches. Not my thing, right? I have certain body parts that I prefer, right? And if somebody were to try to date me and they catfished me, I'll use myself as an example because I don't want to mislabel or characterize somebody else. Especially if I was younger, I would be pretty offended if we got to the point to where, you know, clothes were coming off and I found that the body parts were not the ones that I was expecting. I would feel lied to, right? I'm calling myself the bad guy in this situation. I would consider myself somewhat of the bad guy, but I'd also consider the other person, you know, assuming that I at least expressed what my preferences were, because I know me well enough to know that I would have. If I was lied to, that would be bad. So I know it's a very extreme, gross example. I'm sorry, but you know, that is my counter to kind of what you're saying, because I think that what you're saying is a valid point worth understanding better and conversing on. I'm not probably the best person to you know, speak for trans people, so I don't want to speak for them. I want to speak as somebody that used to be discriminatory or apprehensive. I never like hated on them or tried to vote against them or anything, but I didn't understand it. To now being somebody that's like actually speaking up for them. I still wouldn't call myself an ally or an advocate, but I'm just, when things are wrong, you know, my mom used to say wrong is wrong and right is right. So I'm a long-winded talker. That should have answered your question though. Hopefully, if not, then let me know.
Yeah, like
I like these questions.
Yeah, I just like I said, I just personally think better marketing could, you know, help you out, help them out a tremendous. I mean, like, I have to emphasize the tremendous part.
Mm-hmm.
A bit.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's kind of like adding upon all these questions. Do you think it was fair for Trump to, you know, like kind of get rid of them out of like a, you know, like a trans woman out of like a woman's like sport, and then a trans man out of a trans man's sport because of biology?
So I used to do boxing and I did karate. I do taekwondo now, but I don't actually like spar or like compete or anything. I believe weight classes are there for a reason. I'm actually going to refer back to Neil deGrasse Tyson, had a good talk on this, and I tend to agree with that take, that our understanding of how we compete is somewhat primitive in general, because like football or soccer or tennis, right? You know, you're talking about biology. There are men on average body types that would destroy, like a heavyweight is going to destroy a featherweight every single time in boxing. Like, you might find some extraordinary guy that knows how to fight bigger people for some reason, but on average, there's a reason why there's heavyweights and featherweights and lightweights and welterweights and you know, middleweights, etc. So I am fine with exploring the idea of what is truly like biologically or physiologically fair, including sex, right?
Like balancing it out, basically.
Yeah. I'm saying that I don't. So your question was about Trump, though. I don't think Trump was educated enough to make a decision one way or the other. I think no matter what decision he made, it would have came out of ignorance, because I don't think very highly of him, and he has not spoken very highly of trans people. So his motives for doing the right thing for all people does not seem there to me. So it has nothing to do with like the trans aspect of it.
He did it out of like I think he did it out of like biology, or I think that was his like motive.
Sure, and it's still he comes from a place of ignorance though, because he doesn't speak on the trans issue very well. He doesn't speak on sports very well. I've listened to him talk. He doesn't understand sports. He understands that he thinks he understands things very well, because if you actually are good at things, the guy always says that he's good at everything. He's the best at understanding sports. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, if you're the best at all of these things, then why the hell are you such a bad president? Why are the other people whatever? Sorry, I'm gonna rant about the guy because he's a fucking idiot. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, I personally I don't think that any choice he would have made was a good one.
Like,
yeah, so
I understand people's problem with him.
I'm not sure how useful that question is in particular. I don't think he would have made a competent choice no matter what. He seems like a very malicious individual, and he has not spoken on trans people very highly. So I don't have confidence in that. But in terms of the overall question of sports, I think that's a fair question that we are not very mature about, and it's not just conservatives. But I do understand why trans people are very passionate about it. I used to be very, very against trans women being in female sports or women's sports, probably because of the similar reasons. Again, coming from boxing, it's like, bro, that's just not physically fair, right? I don't care. I can fully acknowledge this person's a woman, but I can also acknowledge that's just not fair, right? I think those are conversations are hard to have.
I was just kind of asking, like, from the perspective, like, from like a biology perspective, do you think, you know, that was pretty fair to have at the bare minimum before they can like work out the balancing?
Damn. Okay. I don't think so. I don't think the way he went about it and the way he communicated it. I don't remember at this point what exactly happened. But the way that we're still talking about it now shows me that he did not handle the situation well, because we're not having a mature conversation about it yet, about sports. It hasn't been resolved yet. And honestly, it's getting worse. Like, you have that one girl on the females basketball team becoming like the new MAGA poster child because she's very much an advocate for this. So the issue has not been resolved. So if you were going to take a pause to make this better, we should be talking about it better. But Trump is not a good facilitator of productive conversation or productive solutions unless it's what he wants. He doesn't have communicative, collaborative solutions to things. He makes a choice and doesn't actually listen to the will of the people, only the will of the people that agree with him. So I don't think that Trump, like, talking about the trans issue with Trump, I don't think it does well, I think it's fine to ask that because we're talking about Trump. That is the prompt. So I'm fine with that. But I don't think that Trump is knowledgeable enough and helpful enough to resolve that. I don't think I'm going to like have a high opinion of anything that he's done.
I think I know where the problem is. I said it was that came from Trump, like the policy that came from him. I wasn't saying if he actually did it or not.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying like if someone else did it, of course.
Yeah, I think he made the situation worse, though. To get back to your point, hopefully, is that the way that he's going about it communicatively and anything that he's putting into place, it's not encouraging us to actually find a peaceful resolution. It's just like, this is the way things are, and if you disagree, you're wrong. It's based on Darwinism. Anatomy is based on Darwinism.
I think I'm finally done with the trans thing.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
My limit with it, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the questions. You got me thinking about a few of them. Again, like, I don't consider myself an advocate. And I've had to ask a lot of the questions you're asking. I've probably asked more offensive questions directly to trans people, or what I would think might be offensive. With the best intentions. Like, you're asking questions. You don't sound malicious or like trying to troll or anything like that. So I think those were good questions that made me think a little bit.
I'm not exactly sensitive, but I don't like to insult people to their faces,
Sure. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not sure what you're saying. I might be looking too much into that, but I appreciate the questions either way. Anything else you want to talk about? Any other topics? And I'm going to look at the chat here too, to see if anybody's popping off. Also, what's up, Greek? What's up, other Greek? I can't get over your name.
It's Tertius Magnus.
Tertius Magnus. Got it.
It's the Great Third. It's in Latin. It means I kind of got from Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. Interesting. Okay. That's a good conversation for another day that I need to dig into again. I think he's a very interesting figure.
I just have him as my name because I was looking for just something to add as a name, and I thought Latin would be cool.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with Latin. Somebody in the chat said that's a tough name. I agree. I'm gonna, unless you have any other questions, I'm gonna bring on the next guest. Looks like we have somebody else requesting.
One more.
What's up? Yeah.
All right. It's with the like bathroom thing you were talking about earlier with Megan, I think.
Yeah.
And about how like like how comfortable women were with it and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say like in the chat, isn't comfortability kind of like the main driving power of a huge amount of things, isn't it? Like tax rates, I don't know, how people were treated,
Yeah.
Like,
I think those things always have to be taken into consideration, and I think that they are over the course of time. Some of them are more convenience than,
I think being uncomfortable. I think like being uncomfortable is a serious thing to look at.
It is.
Like motivation's of course a good thing, but you also need to be comfortable while motivated.
Sure, and I'll say the same thing I said before, but like your comfort doesn't supersede people's rights and liberties, right? So if comfort should always be the goal. But if comfort is, it's the same thing I said before. If there's a blacks only and a whites only water fountain, you might feel comfortable. But in America, there's an expectation of actual like equality. right? So
Well,
you feeling uncomfortable shouldn't force me to drink from a separate water fountain, you know?
You gotta look at like kind of look at it from a perspective of where it creates an environment where crime could occur, because men could be perverts, and of course, but I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it would happen. It would not happen on like either side, but I don't know why you would increase the crime. Is all. Like it's the same thing with it's the same thing with immigration. I don't know why you would import a huge amount of it unless you know someone would be good and and actually want to do work here. You know.
For me, that tells me more about your perception of men than the actual situation itself is or is not bad. Like your perception of men is, huh?
I've seen god awful people on this app.
I'm sure you have. Yeah, there are terrible people, but I think it's almost like the same thing as women saying they choose a bear over the man. It's like you're automatically assuming that one, the guy is an actual guy and is pretending to be a woman, and then two, that because that guy is pretending to be a woman, he's therefore like malicious. You know.
I think to expand the example, you know, you do know that civil laws are to keep like an environment where crime shouldn't really occur. Correct?
Shouldn't really occur.
Like so it can create an environment where people, you know, are civil, because you know, so well, I think that keeping, you know, like biological men in like the men's bathroom and biological women in the women's bathroom could you know make sure crime doesn't occur as like at the most in those areas.
I feel like I'm going back to my point earlier, is that you're implying that men on average are just going to do terrible things if given the opportunity.
I'm not saying on average. I'm saying eventually it will happen. Like,
you do know a guy can go into the bathroom still though. I don't understand. Like a straight cis guy can just dress up as a woman really well and go to the bathroom and do exactly what you're talking about without being trans. So I don't understand how that changes anything.
A man can simply say that he's trans.
Sure. If a guy wants to go into the girls' bathroom, he'll find a way to do it, to do bad things. It's not going to stop because you stop trans women from going into the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. You're just kind of providing a new way.
You're thinking that you're saying that it's going to make it easier for that to happen if they let trans women in there.
It's kind of like a new way to do it, basically.
But it's not new. Men have been dressing up as women and doing terrible things for years.
If you really, if people really fall for a man in a dress, they're not that. I don't think they have eyes, to be honest.
I mean, there's a lot of men who dress up very well as women, and they're just like straight dudes. Like they're called, you know, drag queens. You know, some of them do it very, very like exaggerated, but that's on purpose. That's like an aesthetic. There are a lot of men who can look very much like a woman, perfectly straight dudes.
I must have good eyes, I guess.
You might think that. Go overseas and see how that goes for you. Just start talking to some of the girls in Bangkok and see how that works for you.
I've never been wrong about a trans person, to be honest with you.
That's fair. I mean, not everybody is you though. And nor should you like, you know, go assuming that somebody is a man or a woman, because like the 2 points that I have is that
I guess I overestimate people, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
I just kind of assume people have the same eyes as me.
Yeah, I think you underestimate some things too. Like underestimate the motivation of a heinous man. Like there's tons of stories of guys just cross-dressing as girls.
I perfectly estimate them a lot of the time.
Okay. But yeah, no, I don't think it's any different.
I didn't mean that in a rude way, but I've seen huge and horrible things on the internet, man.
Yeah, I just think that we are being very hasty in just saying that if we let trans women go into the bathroom, that there's going to be more crime. Because it's the same thing that I hear when they talk about black men doing things or black people doing things, and it's like there's going to be more crime if you let more black people do something. I've heard that kind
Well,
of talk before, you know, and
well,
one, you, but the thing
it's
is
the
that you
point of
might even be
laws to
advocating, you might be
understand
advocating
them.
for trans people because there's bad actors, right? I don't think that the trans women that want to go to the bathroom just want to feel comfortable too. They're just going to use the facilities, which we didn't even, me and Megan didn't get a chance to actually talk about the women using the facilities or the trans women using the facilities versus a guy that dresses up like a girl just to go in there and do terrible things,
Well,
right? So you
like
might actually be saying that the trans people are going to be made to look bad by straight men cross-dressing as women and pretending to be trans. They're going to take advantage and ruin it all for
well,
all the trans people, right?
well,
So it
there's
almost sounds like you're
also
saying that
trans
straight
people
men that
doing
want to
it as well.
cross-dress or men that want to cross-dress and pretend to be women to hurt women are the ones that are harming the trans people and villainizing them, even though they're probably not the ones actually doing those things. If a trans woman's going to the bathroom, they probably just want to use the bathroom and not be harassed or just feel comfortable. Because especially in the girls' bathroom, there's all stalls, and then you wash your hands and you leave. So I Americans are very prude. I'm going to keep saying this because like you go to the bathroom, you use your stuff, and you get out. That works the same in all the bathrooms. A guy being in there is as easy now as it has ever been to do it. If you stop trans people from going into the bathroom, nothing will change. If you assault somebody in a bathroom, it's a crime, period. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. It's not.
Yeah.
It's more than likely not going to be more. The rates are not going to be higher because you open up the floodgates to trans people, right? It might be safer because you have this big ass burly trans woman in the women's bathroom and a guy goes in there and tries to do some shit. If I'm a girl, I'm gonna feel safe with this big ass trans woman in the bathroom with me, fucking this guy up for coming in here being a weirdo. So I'm just saying, if we're gonna argue that trans people can be dangerous, we can also argue the opposite direction that women might be more safe because you have biological men, now trans women in the women's bathroom being fucking bodyguards. I'm being hyperbolic a little bit, but that is as reasonable as what people keep telling me about being more dangerous. I think that's fair to give both examples.
I think that scenario is rarer than the.
How so? If I'm a person in the bathroom and I hear somebody getting the shit beat out of them, and I have the ability, like I know I'm a big ass 6'5" guy, right? Biological guy, but I'm in the women's bathroom and I hear some weird shit going on. You think that I wouldn't go in, like, depending on the situation, right? If they have a weapon or something, fine. If it's just fisticuffs, I'm stopping that fight, right? I'm not saying all people have to, they're not obligated to, it's none of their damn business. But if there's a big ass 6'5" trans woman in the men's bathroom or the women's bathroom, and a guy comes in here, some 5'8" guy comes in here trying to be weird, you think that guy wouldn't beat the shit out of them? Like, come on. Like that's as reasonable, that's as possible, that is a very realistic scenario. I'm sorry, like that is as realistic as any other situation, because like you're just trying to use the bathroom and all of a sudden you hear this.
Well,
you got all that testosterone in your body, right? You're gonna mess them up. That's as reasonable as someone taking the time to dress up only to harass a woman in a public location. That's a really weird thing to do when you're committing a crime publicly and looking like a woman. And you know that trans people already have a target on their back. You're that selfish that you're going to make all other trans people feel bad. That's not a very realistic scenario. The same thing with black people, where it's like, yeah, there's going to be people who are desperate, hard times, but most black people don't want to make black people look worse than they already look by public perception. So I think there's a stereotype that people want to do, but it's as realistic, if not more realistic, that someone would defend women knowing how hard it is to be a woman. Right. So I'm just saying that you have to acknowledge that is a very fair comparison. If we're going to talk about trans women doing bad things, you have to also be willing to acknowledge the good side of it too.
I do acknowledge that, but I do acknowledge that it's a rarer scenario where a guy would do it out in public.
Sure.
With a bunch of people around. At least.
In 1 second here. Also, thank you everybody for the follows. Greatly appreciate that. If there's any notifications that have been popping up, I'm still new to TikTok, so I'm sorry if I don't have them on the screen popping up, but thank you guys for the follows and everything. Make sure you still continue to do that. And then somebody in the chat, like, be brave like Magnus here, actually come up and talk to me. There was somebody that said TJ Lannister over here, probably with his sister or brother. Okay, you can wait, what did he say? Where did he say that? Where did he say that? He said something. Funny to see someone claim MAGA is dangerous as liberals are killing people. Come up here and talk to me about that real quick. I got to get to the gaming side. It's about the time to play Resident Evil, but you said that. Come defend yourself. This guy Magnus here is actually like asking me questions and sharing his thoughts and being brave and like being respectful. Why don't you be like that?
I do have one more question, and
Shoot.
I do kind of wonder this sometimes. Am I a decent person?
Are you?
Yeah.
I think the question is more important than the answer,
Like
personally.
I kind of wonder sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Let me elaborate. I am very big on integrity to the point to where it's annoying, because I think that what you're asking is one of the important questions, and it's not the answer that is important. I think the answer is more dangerous if it stays static. If you say yes, I think that is dangerous. If you say no, that is dangerous. But if you ask the question and focus on trying to be a better person, that is always the right answer, in my opinion. Because the moment you stop asking yourself that question is the moment that you stop evolving as a human being and growing and learning from other people. And I don't care who you are or how old you are, you do not know, not you personally, but just in general, you do not know everything. You do not know everybody's life. You have not lived enough life to know everybody's way of living, and therefore being a good person is something that always grows. It's like gender. It's a spectrum, right? I'm being funny
I've always
there.
meant to ask someone that, you know. I don't really know.
I think the only person you need to ask that is yourself, and I think it's just a continual journey. Personally, like, you know, don't take my word for it, but I like the way that I communicate, because I am always willing to be wrong and grant things and learn and evolve and understand things. That's why I'm not as bigoted as I used to be, you know, and more open-minded, and I'm, you know, more happy than I used to be, because I try to learn and grow, and I help more people. So I personally think that's the most important question you've asked. And I think, again, the question, and, you know, it's like the journey is more important than the destination. It's like that. It's the pursuit. It's the process, right? Trust the process, try to be a better person, learn, grow. But I appreciate that question.
Dude, I guess, thank you for the advice.
Yeah. Thank you for the questions, man. You have a good night.
Yeah, but I got House of the Dragon in 20 minutes.
Hey, my wife's probably watching that right now, so you enjoy, man.
It's like, it's about to happen, basically.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. I'm probably gonna either switch over to the gaming side. I gotta figure out how TikTok works for that. But thank you, sir. I will see you later.
All right. Good discussion.
Thank you. All right, that was a great discussion there. Good questions. Again, Megan came back up. Shout out to Megan. I'm having a very interesting experience here. This has been more pleasant than I thought it would be. I don't always expect that. I did talk to someone who accused me of being an anti-Semite and then proceeded to explain to me why the Jews are responsible for everything, everywhere, all at once. That was weird. But other than that, Megan's been pleasant. I already forgot how to say his first name, but Magnus, which is also a cool name. He has a double cool name. He didn't say he was a Trump supporter, but he did say that, you know, he didn't necessarily fully disagree. So, you know, I would still consider him in that category. But let me see here. I'll take one more, but I got to get over to Resident Evil in a second here. I think I might restart the stream for TikTok, because I don't know how that actually works. Question mark. But let me see if I can grab that guy that was just in here. Where'd he go? I'm going to pull him up. Where do you go? Where do you go? Mario. Hopefully TikTok or YouTube and other places you can hear him. Change am I a good person into how can I be a yeah. Before I bring him on, this is the last thing. Boshi in YouTube, he said change am I a good person into how can I be a better than how can I be better than yesterday? That is called Kaizen, essentially, and I think that is a very great way to evolve what I was talking about into something more actionable. I love that. The Greek, you said, honestly, he seems like a decent guy, reasonable and self-aware. I think he's just gotten himself into some weird spaces of internet where they try to tie logical knots around bigoted nonsense. I mean, he seemed, I don't know, because he didn't really say too much about his own personal opinion too much, right? So I don't know if necessarily he was on either side of the fence. And honestly, like, I agree with what you're saying, Other Greek. I agree for the most part. And I mean, if you know, being 19 on the internet, there's no way you don't find weird spaces and weird ideologies. And now you have to combat AI videos trying to sell you propaganda too. Like, it's tough for a 19-year-old right now to even come to a reasonable answer on things. Somebody did request up a second ago. I'm sorry I didn't see you. If you want to try one more time, I'll let you in here for about a good 15-minute conversation, and then I'm going to switch over to Resident Evil 1. I've been doing a Resident Evil marathon. I always do gaming around 8 o'clock just to blow off some steam from all the talking on politics and stuff. It's just something that I do just to level it out and to also beat a lot of single-player games. So I'm doing the Resident Evil 1 remake, and then it's going to be Resident Evil 2 remake, 3 remake, all the remakes up until, 1 through 4 are all remakes. I just beat 0 a couple weeks ago. Then we're doing 5 and 6 co-op with my buddy Tech. And then we're getting 7, 8. And then I might get 9. If I end up making like enough gifts or subs or something, I might do that. But let me read some of this chat here, because people have been active in the TikTok chat too, and the YouTube chat. And I don't want to ignore people. So I'll get back to the YouTube in a second here. Wonderful. I was trying to read what you were saying in an M5CO. You seem cool. Maybe we'll have a discussion sometime. We don't have to disagree or have a debate. I'm out of time today, but I definitely, I appreciate a lot of the talking that you did in the chat. You're the #1 chatter in there, so shouts out to you. Very, very, very awesome person. Hold on, let me test this button out here. Does that work? Does that do anything? All right. I got a bunch more like shit. That's the wrong button. Perfect. That's the right button. There we go. I got a lot of sound effects that I use, and I haven't really been doing it during the TikTok streams. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and mute that up though, because we're not using that anymore, just so that we don't have that audio there. And then is there any like experienced TikTokers in here that might know how, like, what the best practice is for switching? Because I'm going to switch over to gaming now. Is it better just to start a new TikTok stream and do that, or is it better just to keep everybody in here and then just switch over to gaming and we can still have conversations and stuff? Host, do you follow Christian Divine? That sounds really familiar. Let me Google that. Christian Divine. I'm so bad with names, dude. I'm so bad with names. Christian Divine? No, I don't. Is it black guy? Black dude? Oh, wait, Resident Evil is probably this guy. Oh, last time I reacted to a video on TikTok, I got in trouble by TikTok. So I might not put the video on the screen for y'all, but I might listen to it. Is this who you're talking about? It was never asexual apes who just, wait, what? What happened to asexual apes who mutated to different genders? Wait, what? Darwin is not the foundation. What is happening in the chat here? Where Darwin and, oh, damn. Okay, let me go back to the YouTube chat while y'all figure that out. What is happening over there? Yeah. But let me know if I have the right person. Who asked that? NH5CO. What is that from? Is that like Pokemon or something? My goodness, he's doing great at 19. At 19, I can't believe they let me go outside most of the time. Hell, even at the age we worked together, I was mostly a dumbass. Still working through that. You and me both, man. At 19, I was living in Alabama, and I was a lot more conservative. I was in college. I worked as a bouncer for a semester. I took a semester off to work in Miami as a bouncer at a nightclub called Nikki Beach. That was a good time. That was crazy. Holy crap, dude. Oh my God. And I was in college going for game design and working at GameStop. I wasn't doing a lot with my life at that time. I was not at all interested in talking to people about politics. That's for damn sure. So again, like I can't say anything mean about that guy at all. Like, he was respectful. He asked good questions. He seemed very genuine about it. He seemed like he was contemplating the answer, like not as if he had the right answer. And then hitting me with the question of, am I a good person? Man, I hope that my answer was sufficient for him to be a better person than he already is. Because shit, hey, that guy, shouts out to you, Magnus. I don't know if he's in the chat. I don't think he's in the chat anymore, but this one's for you, man. I appreciate that. Man, this is a whole nother video worth of information to talk about, me processing these TikTok conversations. And I love conversations so goddamn much, because if you're willing to learn and just accept people where they are, even if they're being bad faith and you just take what they're saying at face value, if they're bad faith, they'll expose that themselves. If you just stay curious and honest about things, they'll expose their own hypocrisy. I don't gotta be trying to trick people or catch people, right? So yeah, if he was a troll, he was a good troll, and I liked the questions and I enjoyed the conversation. I can't say nothing mean about it. if I could wrap up the conversation around trans issues, overlapping women's issues real quick. If you're a man defending the sanctity of a woman's space without actually consulting the women around you before the women around you about their honest opinion, you need to learn more than speak. The women will tell you what actually makes them uncomfortable, and it's honestly not what you think. Yeah, and at the same time, to be fair, we had Megan up here, and she was a woman that did feel uncomfortable. I still agree with what you're saying. I think it's weird when a lot of guys go out of their way to like worry about that stuff. At the same time, I think it sounds very noble and can be very noble, but I feel like in doing so, they really just out themselves as like all men are horrible, and if you give them a chance to do something horrible, they're going to take it. And anyone willing to pretend to be a woman in their eyes, not mine, is a horrible person times two, right? Like that's how it sounds. I'm not saying that's what they're saying, but it's like they don't realize that their worldview is what is making the concern, and that they're willing to hinder people's like actual ability to access places because they feel uncomfortable about it. And then you're a guy on top of that. It's like, bro, you don't get the right to speak to people. And at the same time, those same people are probably like, not all of them. I'm not going to speak for Megan or Magnus, but there are people that are also on the fence, or not on the fence, but they also want to control people's ability to have abortions. And it's like, bro, you want to fight for their freedom to be able to use the restroom, but then you want to take away their freedom to choose what they do with their own body when they're pregnant. It's like, I understand that they think they're being consistent because they're trying to protect the sanctity of life in general, but they don't understand in both scenarios, they're actually infringing on people's abilities to do things on their own free will. And like, it's the trans people in one situation, and it's the women, the cis women in the other situation. Weird. But I disagree. Like I said, I will likely never change my opinion on the matter. Oh, what, Boshi, what did you say? I hear you. Oh, okay. Trans spaces for trans people sounds like a great solution to me. I think gender neutral places. I've been seeing a lot more gender neutral places. I've been seeing a lot more individual bathrooms. Frankie is stupid as hell. Liberal men sit when they pee and drink soy. You know what, Frankie?
Beta!
That's what you sound like to me.
Beta!
What was that?
Beta!
Ah, yeah, that's what it was.
Gotcha, bitch!
I can be as immature as you. Look, I can be very, very immature. You see this thing? You see this? You see this? I got the power in my hands. I got the power in my hands.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. Another one.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's for you, Frankie. That's for you, Frankie.
Beta!
Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done. It's a con job by the Democrats, and Trump stopped it. Chimichanga. Chimichanga.
What do you mean by that?
Chimichanga. Chimichanga. No. I was talking to a YouTuber that's really cool. I'm trying to get him on the show one time. There's a guy named Illogics that I'm in his Discord. Really cool guy. I'm going to start setting up Resident Evil. I'm going to see if I can change this to gaming. Let's see. Let's. I think I have the end the stream on TikTok. I think I have the end the stream on TikTok. So let me go ahead and get everything running first, and then I'm gonna restart my stream because I gotta launch my other YouTube gaming live stream as well. If you're against abortions, go get a vasectomy. Be the change you want to see in the world. Yeah, I hear you. That doesn't mean we shouldn't try. I keep missing parts of the conversation. Abortion should not be used as birth control. That is all. Trans spaces. Okay, yeah. Brother, we have unisex bathrooms already. Easy peasy. Yeah. Unisex. That's the word. Unisex bathrooms. I said non-binary, I think. I meant unisex. Booting up Steam. Don't look at my catalog. Don't look at my catalog. Stop. Stop it. Resident Evil. Got my controller here. Got my water here. Got it right here, boy. Got it right here, boy. Boshi got 2 kids. That doesn't mean, yeah, okay. So TikTok, I don't know what the hell this is gonna do. So I'm gonna restart your stream. Let me, oh damn, chill out. Can you stop? Oh shoot. Can you not and say we did? How do I do this? Oh, I got an idea. I got an idea. Hold on. I'll figure this out. I got this. Please hold. Please hold. Ooh. Okay. Almost there. Where's TikTok Studio at? Where's TikTok Studio? There you are. TikTok Studio. What is it? Pop-up radio? Pop-up video. There we go. Okay. So I will restart the stream, and this way y'all can be a part of it and everything. But I got to change it to gaming because I don't want to false advertise and get in. Yeah, I can't change the topic during the live stream. Okay, people. So I will do this here. Again, make sure if you're heading out, totally fine. I'm gonna be playing some Resident Evil now. I appreciate you guys stopping by and have a conversation with me. Anybody I missed and didn't respond to, I am sorry. I'm not used to this frequency of chatting in the chat. I'm new to streaming on TikTok, and I don't have you guys up on the stream for like YouTube and TikTok or Twitch to see. So they're probably way more confused than you guys are because I think you see all the chat popping up from their side. I don't know how to add that in there yet. So I will figure that out as we go. I am definitely going to keep doing TikTok stream because this is really fun. But I'm going to restart the stream. If you guys want to hop in here, we can still have some chat about politics and stuff. I'm not going to have anybody like request on, but I will still chat with people. But just so that you guys don't get false advertised because we're switching over, I'm going to end the stream, start it right back up. But you know what? Thank you guys. Hit a follow on the way out if you don't mind. I appreciate the people following. We're hitting that goal. We're already on our way to the other one. So thank you guys on the TikTok and YouTube side. Stick around. We're going to keep that going and open up the YouTube gaming side. I'm going to be streaming on like 4 different platforms at the same time. Yeah, dang. We doing this thing out here though. All right, y'all. TikTok, y'all have a good one if you're heading out. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in just a second. I'm going to switch it over right now. All right, so I ended the TikTok live stream. Let me look at the numbers right quick before I hop in. 1.4K views, man. We had 2.6K likes. That math isn't mathing. There's no way I can have 2.6K likes with only 1.4K views. This must not be updated in real time yet. I had 1 gifter, which thank you for that, and 1 share. I don't know where that came from. Oh, this might be overall. This might be my TikTok video. I posted a TikTok video too. So that might be different. I'm not sure. I will follow Megan and I will follow NH5 because he was cool. And then I don't know if I know that Megan actually posts content. I don't know if Magnus actually posts any content or anything like that. So I don't, a lot of people don't have actual accounts. NH5, I'm not sure if he is going to stick around, but let me go ahead and get this TikTok stream back up for y'all. People on the TikTok side, Other Greek, I appreciate you. Wait. Oh, Will. Mamazellos. Sorry, I shouldn't say your name like that. It was for my memory. I was trying to challenge my memory, and my brain got excited to remember before giving governments. I pronounced it wrong anyway. I know I did. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna change the gaming. Resident Evil. I'll just do RE1, and then let me change the gaming. Gaming. Resident Evil 2002. Resident Evil Gaiden? What the hell is Resident Evil Gaiden? Oh, there's new messages. My brother in Christ. We need more people, not less. Not less for what? They're trying to get me to play Magic. I play Pokemon now. Have a good stream. Oh, take it easy, man. My urologist appointment is tomorrow to talk about getting snipped. Be proactive, boys. Yeah, I need to do that too. I should have did it when I had great insurance. I guess turn on. It's probably going to limit my audience, but whatever. There we go. All right. And then let me get YouTube gaming going. Yeah. All right. We are live, people. What's going on? YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. That's everybody. What's going on? We are here for more Resident Evil, baby. let's go ahead and get it, y'all. Let's go ahead and get it. Let me see if I can get this looking good for you. Looking good for you. I want to change one thing on here though. Is this locked? Do I want to do this? I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll do that. There. That looks a little better on the TikTok side now. And then I'm just gonna get rid of this little white bar because I hate that. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I don't like it, sir. No, sir, I don't like it. Let's load it up. Let's load it up. Oh, and then I gotta switch over to Resident Evil 1. Yeah, we're in there. All right, so we only have 5 saves. I save a new save every single time just to keep track of it. We beat Resident Evil 0 earlier. Welcome in. If you are hopping in on the TikTok side, I see people joining in already. What's good, y'all? We're playing some Resident Evil. We're doing the remake. We got the BSAA Resident Evil 5 drip going on here. I'm hurting a little bit though. But yeah, we're just playing some Resident Evil, having a good time. You know how it goes, y'all. So let me orient myself a little bit. I'm new to streaming on TikTok. YouTube seems to be okay. I don't want to restart the YouTube streams. I'm going to leave that as is. And then I just want to pull up TikTok real fast just to make sure everything's good on that. But I appreciate you guys hopping in here and hanging out with me, coming through whatever you're doing, you know. I just did a long talk talking to some MAGA people earlier. I did not update my name too much or my stream information. YouTube is good. YouTube is good. And then let's check out the other YouTube, the UB2B on this side. Wait, is this? Okay. We're good. Everything looks good on all the 4 platforms. I'm streaming on 2 YouTube channels, TikTok and Twitch. Crazy. It's crazy out here, y'all. But we're hustling, we're grinding, we're doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me orient myself. I don't need this anymore. That needs to go in there. The fuel canteens, I got a burn dead body, survival knife. I think that thing is absolute trash. Wall mount and the emblem, I don't know. Old keys, I got 2 of them. Don't know what the hell to do with them, and I got 2 green herbs. Let's check out the map real quick and see what's popping off on that one. Let's look at this map. Yo, map.
What's popping?
Hello? That works. Cammy, you a Street Fighter fan? Yeah, Cammy Belladum. All right, so I cleared out all of this area. I want to say I unlocked some new areas on the way too. What's going on? People popping in there. What's good? I am overstimulated as hell. Oh my god. Let me open up projector. Not there. There. Ha ha! There. That'll do. This music is pretty chill though. It should be creepy, but it's not. So there's a typewriter over there. I have not accessed that one, or I have not unlocked everything in there yet. The real Frank Spurlock. Alfonso, what's good, y'all? What's good? How we doing in there? Just big chilling. Debbie. Not my Aunt Debbie, is it? Where am I? I'm right here. Boshi, what's good? 2 YouTube streams I will watch. I appreciate that. The other one is just Philosopher Gaming. I just put it up there so that I have VODs. I had a few people request that I upload my VODs, and my editing timeline, I got a lot of editing that I got to do, so I can't do gaming videos are secondary. Like the political stuff is my primary content that I want to make, and then the gaming stuff, I can't sit down and make it look funny and edit it and all that kind of stuff like my favorite YouTubers do. So I'm just live streaming on that one, and I don't do anything else with it. I just upload the gameplay. I cut it once I'm done gaming. I start it once I start gaming, and then if I want to edit it or I hire an editor in the future, then they have like very easy content to work with and can just download the YouTube version for now until I start recording it separately. I don't really need to. But yeah, you guys make sure you hit that like button, share on the TikTok side, show me all the love. I'm new to TikTok, so if you know how the algorithm works and how to get more engagement, by all means, do those things for me if you don't mind. If you're on the YouTube or Twitch side, yeah, like, follow, all that kind of stuff. You know, if you want to subscribe, by all means, I appreciate it. No stress, no pressure, you know. All right, we're gonna explore. I don't remember where I'm at here. I am perfectly sober. I ran out of, you know, I'm dry right now, so I'm just gonna go. I'm raw dogging life as I do, you know. We're having a sober stream, which is probably the best thing to do right now, since I was like talking to a bunch of people on TikTok. I don't want to debate elevated or anything like that. Why so serious? Oh, that's got me scared. Right bumper is an app button. I don't want to go upstairs just yet. I want to explore this floor, and then I don't understand this one thing. There's a door over here that's like, yo, if you go this way, the doorknob is broken. You can't pass through. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, it locked from this side. That's annoying. That's fine. I unlocked the way back this way. That's somewhat annoying. Might use a D-pad instead of the controller. Oh, okay. Damn, I'm gonna run into some enemies now. Let's go ahead and find out what we come across. I thought that guy's name was Robert Tilapia. That's crazy. What's going on, y'all? Master Debater. Oh, snap. I'm scared. We got a Master Debater in here. I think he left, though. I think we're safe. I try not to run too much when I don't know where I'm going. Like when I don't know what's around the corner. But I'm going to have to be a little bit quieter. Turn the volume up a little bit. Is there anything in here? Doesn't seem to be anything useful. Okay. I am, thank you for the likes, by the way. I really appreciate you guys. I am sorry if I'm not doing all the proper decorum. I am still new to TikTok. This is my first time gaming on TikTok, actually. I did my debates earlier, talked to some people who are MAGA, talked to 2 people at least. It's just Philosopher Gaming. So Philo Cypher Gaming. Coral. Ooh, I just got a good crack out of my neck. I think there's a zombie still in here. That door is locked. Let me double check that it's not. I don't have a key to that, or what the key might be. I think this is the shield key. No, locked from the other side. Oh, NH, you're back. NH5, you're back. Oh, you asked a question, didn't you? Oh, yeah, Philosopher. Yeah, on Twitch, it's just Philosopher. It's just Philosopher on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, that fool is still alive over there, just living his best life. Let's go ahead and bait him to come this way, and we're gonna run around the other way. I ain't trying to waste no ammo on this idiot. Bye! The sound... Put my headphones around backward, dude. The sound design in this is good, but god dang, it throws me off a little bit where it's coming from. I got the surround sound in my ears, in my ear holes. Got my trash can all up in the camera. Is this the one? Wait, is that a mirror? What? Granada! The fuck? Is that a spear? Dude, these mirrors, man. Oh. Please don't spawn a zombie. Please don't zombie. Don't zombie. Don't zombie. Fast around back and X. I don't like this at all. At all. All these mirrors make me really nervous. There's something in here. It's gonna do some nonsense. I'm gonna have to grab a key, and then there's gonna be a trap or something. I haven't played the... Did I kill that guy? I don't think I've been in here before. This door is locked. Is it locked from the other side? It is. This guy's gonna get up. Hold on, let me just give him a warning shot. Okay. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you're not full of shite. All right. Megan is back. Oh snap! Sorry, Megan. I'm just gaming right now. But welcome back. You see that? Look at that body in the mirror. There's no way that doesn't get up. There's no way you don't get up. Ooh. An herb. Place got me messed up. Megan, this place got me messed up, man. I'm scared. I don't know what it is about these games that are scarier than the actual scary games that try to like be jump scary. The atmosphere, the ambiance, like it's not just gimmick scares that you see in a lot of the I'm gonna call it horror slop. Horror slop. Oh, I've been here before. This is the Indiana Jones room. Black Templar. Oh snap! Hide the heathens. Hide me. We got a Black Templar. Yeah, I've been in here before. Okay, so I must have killed all the zombies already. Do I have a key or anything? A Black Templar. What? I wonder if he's like actually African American or African, or if it's like a metaphorical black. Moshi. It is the bad graphics. It's not the bad graphics. Okay. I definitely think there's a fair argument that contributes to it a little bit, but it isn't the bad graphics because this looks way better than Resident Evil 1 original. This is the remake, and I'm wearing the Resident Evil 5 skin. Like, this looks way more high fidelity. Freak. What's my health looking like? I mean, caution. Makes it more... Is that a dog or a crow? Or what the hell is that? What is that?
Hello.
Oh. All right. Don't start no stuff. Won't be no stuff. Don't start no stuff. Won't be no stuff. We're good. We're good. Also, I want to get that shotgun in that other room. I need to figure out what I can put there. Why are there traps on the wall? There's nothing interactable here? That's crazy. Usually they give you a bunch of dialogue. Oh, I didn't even see the magazine there. Black Templars as in Warhammer 40k for the Emperor. Oh, skulls for the Skull Throne type stuff? Is that what you're saying? Mirror. Oh, let me check myself on the mirror real quick. Hey, what's going on, baby? What's going on? You look good in the mirror, baby. Hold on. What's good? What's good? Uh-huh. Oh my God, look at him moving. Ooh. Okay, I'm done. I'm not done, I'm just lying. Okay, I'm now done. I'm stop. It's the brain, man. I'm overstimulated right now. I got craziness going on. I'm just excited to have y'all in here hanging out with me. Hey, yo. Hey, what is this? We're good. Sorry, I check every body that I come across. Oh, this area has been cleared already. I love that song so much. This song is so good. Oh my God. I think we're good. This door locked with what key? I have 2 rusted keys. What are those rusted keys for? Everything's locked from the other side, you assholes. Don't hit me. Okay. It's locked. Emblem of the armor. Let's go this way. There's some unexplored areas that I've got to go to. Bushi, where are you from? I think I asked it before, but I don't remember. You use the sword key. Oh, here we go. Uncharted territory. We're going to have some zombos in here. Maybe some zombo dogs. Hopefully not no zombo dogs. I don't have any like strong guns, but I got a decent amount of ammo now. Those bugs? Refrigerator? No, nothing. Juan Mendez. David. What's good, y'all? Joey Vegas, TikTok universe to Joey Vegas. What does that mean? Why am I getting those notifications? I don't know what that means. Why am I seeing these? Line sent TikTok universe. Andy sent TikTok. What is TikTok universe? Somebody tell me what TikTok universe is and who Joey Vegas is and why I'm seeing it. Why am I seeing Joey Vegas's notifications on mine? I don't know who that is. Another old key. I've got like a bunch of spices you've never seen before. Well, he is white, so he probably doesn't have any, you know, a big... I couldn't finish the joke. You get the joke. You know, white people and flavor, all that good stuff. I haven't been in this room before. Who are you? Who are you? Whoa. I haven't been in this room before. Who are you? There's no way you're dead. You're gonna grab me. Hold on, I'm going around. I'm not doing this game. I'm not doing a song and dance with you, buddy. Listen, I'm a almost 40-year-old gamer. Ew. Calling of magnets. Magnets? How do those work? Who gets that reference? Maggots. Maggots. MAGA maggots. Hey. Power doesn't seem to be turned on. Power doesn't seem to be turned on. Okay. Well, that sucks. Back the way I came, I suppose. Tramaga would like that. So petty, dude. I'm so petty. What the hell? Oh my god. Oh. Whoa. What is this? Oh, shoot. Swerve on him. Whoa. Excuse me? Get the fuck up, son of a... One for good measure. God dang it, wasting all my ammo. Do you have it, Guts? Guadalupe. What's up, man? Join from your post? My post? Oh, you watch one of my videos? Interesting. Do I have power now? No, I don't seem to have... What was that cutscene? What changed? I just had a random encounter? Not random, but I had a scripted encounter? Is that it? Was there, did he drop something maybe? Baby girl, what's your name? Oh. I didn't see that before. A piece of meat from an unidentified source. Let me get this dagger though. Yeah. These are special daggers that go into my defensive items, and so I can use those with, I think, RB or LB to like get them off of me without taking too much damage. Wait, did I take damage? I mean, caution from that grab? From that one grab? Are you serious? Bro, Tim Buchanan, what's going on, man? What's going on? Why'd you do that to me, Tim? What'd you do? Let me see what his say hi thing is. I want to say hi. I don't know what that does, but y'all tell me what it does. I waved at somebody. It's cursor up my damn screen. I'm kind of scared though. What was that random encounter? I haven't played this game since I was a kid. Oh, story time for y'all. Hold on a second here. All right. Oh snap. There we go. Okay, quick story time, and then we'll get back to the game. You're from the UK, GB. Sorry, I was busy. GB? UK GB? I don't know what GB is. Great Britain? Oh, Great Britain. Why is it smaller? How did you capitalize it and make it smaller? Why is UK big like that? That's weird. Anyway, this game, the short version of the story. This original game, back in the day when it first came out, my brother's 6 years older than me, so he played games that I was way too young to play. I would watch him play it. I finally got the bravery to play Resident Evil 1 as a kid. I was like 7 or 8. You know, I was old enough to not like be as scared as I was, but I was a scaredy cat as a kid. And I tell you, that first cutscene, I see the zombie, bad graphics, turns his head, I turn the PlayStation off, press the power button, gone, right? I try again a couple of days later, same thing happens. I'm like, okay, be tough, run away. I run away as Jill. Now in the original game, I don't know if they do this in this one, but in the original game, if you run away from that very first zombie that you encounter, he busts through the room, into the ballroom or into the dining room with you and Barry kills him for you. But like, I freaked out and I didn't know that Barry killed him. I just saw a zombie bust through the door, break my worldview that I was safe because I went through a door, and NPCs can't open doors in like the 90s. So I'm thinking I'm safe. No, he comes in. and terrifies the hell out of me. And I turned the game off and I didn't play another Resident Evil until Resident Evil 3 years later. True story. True story. True story. It was a true story, y'all. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed, but it is true. But yeah, you're from the UK, Great Britain. Very cool. All right, let's go back in this room with the typewriter. On my left. This left. My right, his left. Oh, it's this room. Was that my footstep? Wait, the shield has to go there. There's a... Oh no, this is where I got it from. This is where I picked it up from. You waved at William Prater? What a William. Let me go ahead and grab this. Gregory Jr. What's good, man? Am I making that noise? Is there a zombie in here? What am I hearing? Besides the clock ticking. Blue gemstone. Examine. It's beautifully cut and polished. Is that it? I guess that's it. All Hunter. So this room should be clean now. Is it green? No, it's not green. Wait, what? There's more items in here? Does this clock do something? When the two... Oh yeah, when the two have run in... Here's a riddle, y'all. I need help. I'm bad with riddles. I'm bad with riddles, y'all. Wait, what's going on? Oh no, we're good. We're good. When the two have run each other through, the path to your destiny will be open. I'm guessing that's like 12:01 when you're run through midnight or noon. Oh wait, but hold on. A picture of two knights striking each other. The short sword has been thrust into the breast of the one knight, while the long sword has pierced the head of the other. Is there anything over here? There's another item in here. The map tells you if there's more stuff in here to grab, but I don't... A large filth encrusted jar. A filth encrusted jar. Gross. Filth encrusted. I don't like the way that sounds at all. That's horrible. I block liberals. Good thing I'm not a liberal. What a weird name. What a weird thing to name yourself. I block liberals. It's so cool seeing that people hop into the chat. It doesn't say that they leave, thank God, because that'd be a lot of people probably. But seeing somebody with the name I block liberals is weird as hell, dude. Cool Wolf. F-A-F-O. Slightly weird. A little less weird, but still weird. Tim Duffy. What's good? I thought about the Ari that I know. That can't be the same Ari. Well, the Ari that I know... Wait, no, there's another Ari. There's a couple different Aris. Yeah, I don't think it's any of them. I don't think it's the tech. I don't think it's a fighting game guy. I think he passed away, actually. Wait. Wait. Does this go in here? No, not necessary. Raman Agurang. How do you join twice? She joined. He joined. They joined. Not this way. So there's that shotgun that I gotta grab, but it activates the floor crushing, so I can't go that way. Let's go upstairs and see what else we can find. There must be something upstairs that I can grab. Oh wait, this room right here takes me to what again? Let me see where this takes me to. I don't remember where this takes me to. I'm gonna check the map real fast and see what I get. Oh yeah, the outside room. Yeah. There's nothing near me. Nothing here for me right now. I'll come back to that. River Song. Hey River, what is that icon next to your name? Like, what are those diamonds next to your name? What does that mean? What is that? What is that? Dang, you got 268 followers. The Silver Sapien? You're in her DMs. I'm in her cave, banging 2 rocks together, trying to make fire. We are not the same. Oh, you don't have any videos. Wait, how do you have so many followers and you don't have any videos? I don't understand. That's weird. Sus behavior. I'm watching you. I'm watching you, River. Whatever your name is. Whatever, whoever you are, sir. Or ma'am. I'm assuming sir, because you said that you are in her guts. I mean, her cave. Wait. There's a door over here? Wait, what? Oh, that's just that door. Nah. Wait, that stairway has... All right, let me go back over here and dodge that zombie again and go this way and see if I can find that door. Oh, no. Actually, double check this. Lock from the other side. God dang. I'm gonna pull up the map again. There's a door to the left, and I thought I could get in that way. One of the I block liberals guy blocked me, assuming I was a liberal. The world may never know. So this room is green, and this is the room above the dining room. So this room... I'm gonna bait him over here again. Bye! You're a sucker. You'll never learn, buddy. You'll never learn. Yeah, let me go to that stairwell. Shut up. So dramatic. He's so dramatic. That one guy asked me about that YouTuber, and then I never heard back from him. I don't know what it was about that YouTuber that he wanted me to see. Oh yeah, I can also go check out that other room too. Yeah, this is the I might as well try it again. That room's locked. I think it's this one right here, and I'll go ahead and do that. Thank you for the like, by the way. Appreciate y'all in there hanging out with me. Big chillin'. What's up, Christian? What's up, someone? Let's see what we got here. Whoever takes this emblem will find peace in death. I can't carry anymore. Yeah, of course I can't carry anymore. Damn it. And this is the door that I would need to get in, probably. Emblem of the helmet. I'm guessing this is the helmet key right here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Patrick Rhea. Whoops. Rhea. Excuse me. Don't get me wrong. I agree with what you said. It was true, but also men and women and what we are expected to endure is very different. Wait, what did I miss? What did I miss in the chat? Wait, who you respond to, Bushi? You responding to me? What did I say? What did I say? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this. I mean, I can't pick up the key right now, but I'm not really sure if I need to replace it. I think a comment was withheld. Oh, by who? On YouTube? Oh, another moderator has handled this? I read your comment. I don't know if I can remove it or whatever, but yeah, can you elaborate on what you meant? Because I'm not sure which way you meant that, so I don't want to waste time elaborating on something assuming that I have it backwards than what you actually meant it. This room again. Right. I'm about to go back to that save room and drop off some stuff if I can. Shut up, bro. Jesus. If I shoot at them, they're gonna attack me, so I'm trying to leave them chill. You know, I'm trying to leave them alone. What's the puzzle here? Is there a puzzle in here? And then there's stairs right there. I've never been in here. I don't understand. There should be stairs to my left. There should be stairs to my left. Hey, what's up, NH? Oh, NH, if you're commenting on oh wait, no, you went to Twitch. You went to Twitch. No, the stairs aren't here. I don't see the stairs. Broccoli. Broccoli. Oh my god, that's good. Need some broccoli. Hey NH, do you know what those diamonds next to people's names mean? Like, what is that? Why do people have diamonds and stuff next to their names? What does that do? Queen Batty has lit up all gifts in their gift gallery. Why am I seeing other people's notifications on mine? What is this nonsense? Okay, I'm going in circles here though. Where the French toast am I supposed to go? Let's get back to that save room somehow. Oh, now I'm going downstairs. I don't know where I'm at. Wait, I don't recognize this door. I could have been staring at chat. Oh, it's this door. Wait, there's more items in here? And there's a door over here? It's locked from the other side. Yeah, I get that. A bunch of spices that you've never seen, yeah. Oh, there's ammo in here. Ah, shoot, okay. Thank you. Thank you, I need... Hello? 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 It's difficult to elaborate. Maybe I am being sexist. Again, I agree with what you said, but I disagree that you were saying it to a woman. Interesting. Am I lagging? Am I lagging? What's causing this lag? Are y'all seeing this? Being safe, yes. Being comfortable, the thing is that being comfortable is very subjective and very reliant on the individual. And while I understand, like, I'm not dismissing safety, can y'all hear anything? I don't hear anything anymore. Bruh. Hold on. Check. Check. Mic check. Check. Oh, hello? Okay. I can hear myself again. I cannot hear my game. I'm probably going to restart my game though. So I need to get to the save room so I can restart this game because I don't know what the hell's going on with it. You can hear me? Hey, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think I was hard on Megan a little bit. I wanted her to think about, I don't know specifically what you're referring to, but I'm assuming it has something to do with how I was saying that her comfort doesn't supersede people's rights. I'm assuming that's along the lines of what you were referring to. Okay, let me cut a left over here, and then I'm going to go back to the other area. So let me, that's a right turn. That's not. Oh, here it is. I'm going to go back and save it and reboot the game real fast because I think that the sound went to a different thing, and I don't think this game has robust audio options as much. Yeah. So let's go ahead and head to that save room real fast. Do you believe that was the moment I was speaking on? Yeah. Do you feel like I was being dismissive of what she was saying when it came to being comfortable? I don't know if I can get through to this way. I don't think I can get to the save room from this way. I think I have to go upstairs and go around. But let's just see. Let's see if I can get there from this way. So I had to cut through, go this way. It looks like there's still items in this. Oh, this is where the shotgun room. This is the direction to get to the shotgun room with the crushing floor, crushing roof. Oh, I can't hear crap, dude. I hope there's no more zombies or anything like that. There were dogs in here before, but luckily they don't respawn like that, I guess. But yeah, do you think I was being dismissive to her? You scared the hell out of me like that. The camera angle, bro. Oh, I haven't been in that red room. No, I've been in there. But again, men and women are very different. I think most women would be uncomfortable with it. Yeah. I think that there are many women that would be uncomfortable with it. Yeah. I would agree. And the thing is that I wanted her to do though, and I want anybody to do, is to at least try to see it from the perspective of other people, and in doing so, hopefully understand that there is discrimination and segregation that is potentially happening because of selfishness, right? The desire to feel comfortable is important. The desire to feel safe is more important than feeling comfortable, right? And the thing is that a lot of these people, Megan included, she was a guest I was talking to earlier, is there is an entitlement that is not seen by oneself. There is an entitlement to expectation, right? That you deserve something. I'm going to turn this camera off. I think it died anyway. No, it's still on actually. But somebody's entitlement gives them permission to ignore other people's plights. And the conversation of actually acknowledging somebody as a human being or a group of people that deserves rights is not ever actually had, because people are prioritizing their own comfort and their own sense of safety more than they're willing to actually acknowledge somebody as an equal or a human being. And that whole entire conversation gets side-skirted, and the only way to really address that is to address the fact that your feelings are doing a lot of the lifting for being able to impose on somebody else's freedoms and rights, So it like, yeah, I don't mind being that person, because it's kind of like a man telling a woman what to do with a pregnancy, right? There's a sense of entitlement coming from me as a person who happens to be a man that isn't dealing with that situation, right? So I don't know if that's touching on what you're saying, but I think that's aligned with what you're saying, even if that's not the point you're making. I'm going to call it out on myself, right? So there's a hypocrisy there a little bit from me. I wouldn't consider it hypocritical, because I think that I have integrity, or I try to have integrity, and be consistent when criticizing myself in a similar circumstance. Like, I'm never going to have the same circumstances. I can't make a baby. I'm not a girl, right? I'm not a woman. Can't do it. Can't live that life. So it's only when it comes to people talking about black people can I really have a similar experience, or talking about men can I have a similar experience. Keeping armed citizens comfy could be important. Yeah, right. But the thing is, I'm very big on accountability. If somebody is armed and they shoot somebody who had no ill intent, showed no ill intent, but because they didn't feel safe, they shot somebody or hurt somebody or killed somebody, there are a lot of people who would be willing to justify that action, even though they were clearly in the wrong and clearly not actually threatened, because they're willing to dehumanize groups of people. And so you have these people who are trans, because it happens to black people too, where the whole entire circumstance of somebody being killed or attacked or something, they're not looking at it from an unbiased filter. They're not seeing the trans person as an equal. And so while I'm a man telling a woman about what to do in a woman's bathroom, I think it's very fair to also address the fact that you don't have the right to tell somebody what to do with their life because you feel uncomfortable. It's fine to acknowledge that you feel uncomfortable and all those other things. Let me save this real quick while we talk. But there has to be an acknowledgement, in my opinion, that you are willing to infringe on somebody else's freedoms or liberties in order to feel comfortable. I think that's a fair thing. Yeah. Right. Well, more than 2 lives are ruined that day. If you think about the surrounding people, the family members and the friends, more than 2 lives are ruined, but 1 life was ended and another life is basically ended because they're going to jail for life, from what I understand. Let me go ahead and restart this game real fast. And hopefully this boots up just fine, because I can hear. Well said. Oh, no. I said quit game. I thought the game was going to close completely, not freaking do that. But I won't do that. Go away. Don't look at my hotkeys. What are you doing? Looking at my god dang hotkeys like that. Yeah, the whole Carmelo Anthony thing. I mean, one, it feels weird because there's an actual basketball player named Carmelo Anthony, so like that's really confusing to me. But outside of that, it's so hard as a black person to not see the bias when it's like you have a very similar situation of white friends leaving somebody behind who was found dead overseas or whatever, and like you have people just Resident Evil being the most horrible people about it, you know, like not being fair about the situation. It is very complicated and fascinating as well. It sucks. And it's just very hard to not see racial bias when there's two stories in the media about black people where one is dead and one killed somebody in arguably self-defense. And in both cases, it's in favor of the white guy. You know, it's very different cases. You can't compare them. It's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one. No one else has compared these 2 stories other than me, so it's not like I'm grabbing it from anywhere else or anything like that. So I don't want to make it seem like anybody else has said this. It's just purely from my own opinion that it seems very hard as a black person to be innocent until proven guilty, even though we try to act like that's the case. It is incredibly obnoxious. Where the frick do I go? I want that shotgun, but what do I... Let me go back in my storage and see if there's anything that can help me out here. If there's any Resident Evil pros in the chat on TikTok or something, come through and help me out. I get lost very easily. I don't got no like pride or anything. I don't got no pride or anything like that. Well, I do, but I want to finish games because I have a life and a kid and a wife. Like I can't be sitting here just plugging away at the same game all day. For the dog whistle, I think it's just for the dogs. The wooden mount, I don't think that worked on the shotgun area. The fuel canteen, none of these helped me with that shotgun situation, I don't think. And then the only other locked door is that key. Let me go ahead and put this back. Do I put this back? Pro tip, do not die. You know what? That's fair. I can mix 2 green herbs. Fudge. No. Do I want to take these old keys with me? I'm going to take these old keys with me for now. I'm going to do some exploring. I'm going to take this emblem with me too. The sword key. Maybe I use the sword key where I get the shield key. And now that I have the sword key, maybe there's a game I have to play where I swap them back and forth. So let's go back to that shield key and see if we can swap them out. Maybe they're the same shape. I just don't remember where that room's at now. So I gotta go upstairs and go back around, but it's okay because I have the door unlocked and everything. Before I go upstairs, I think it's over in this region, right? Oh, this is the shotgun room right here. I think this right here, I believe, is the room with the key in it. Right, and this is the room. This is the room with the key in it. This one leads to the room with the key in it. Carmelo should get a fair and unbiased trial with the best defense, but because Austin died, I believe he must serve time, just not 35 years. The poor kid made a mistake. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I might be more harsh than you on it, but I also I agree. Do I agree? Do I really agree? I don't know, because if it was a white guy, I don't know if I would feel the same way. I'm honest enough to admit that, unlike, you know, most people. You gotta go this way. I'm trying to really think about this to see how I feel about it. Wait. Armor key. Okay, that's one door. I really need this armor key. Doesn't seem to be anything of use here. Thaddeus Williams. What a name. S. Thaddeus Williams S. 35 years. Yeah, I think I agree. In general, the situation seemed very scuffed. I think that there should be some sort of community service or something. Like what's the term I'm looking for? I think community service is fine. I think less time and more community service. Yeah, I'll say that, because I think there's some rehabilitation that needs to happen, and honestly, like ending somebody's life when you're not, that's not your job. Even when it is your job, but especially when it's not your job, I don't know what that does to the psyche, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? So I think that it is in the best interest of society to have this person be doing some sort of obligation. What does that say? Okay, there we go. I think some sort of community service or some sort of way to help, like, his career is scuffed. Even if he didn't get the jail, much jail time, and he got out, like, what the fuck? What the hell? What the heezy? I can't hear the game again. Can you hear me? The game audio cut out on me again. Yeah, this game is significantly scarier playing with no sound, actually. I do not like that at all. I do not like that. Wait. Why don't I hear the gameplay? Oh, you know what? I got an idea. That didn't work. Balls. Bollocks. Wait, what's my inventory looking like? Okay, I got one slot. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Genuinely, unless I knew them, I do not think I would be bothered personally. People unfortunately die every day. I only care if the person is white under specific cases. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? What do you mean? I'm assuming you're white then? This should be the door. You tend to speak in a way that I can't tell like any sort of leaning from what you're saying, which isn't a bad thing. It's just an observation. This looks different from the other key. May whoever takes this emblem find peace in death. This doesn't look like the same shape. This is a mansion key. This isn't the armor key. Oh boy. 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 Rip Baby Cohen. White British. Who's Baby Cohen? Is that the guy that got killed? Okay, so that clearly doesn't work. Do you hear the game sound still? It's very honest of you though, Boshi. I don't fully understand the circumstances for it being white, but I can imagine there'd be some stuff. Okay, so that what do I do with that? Because this guy blocks me off. I don't think I can move anything in front of him, can I? And this door right here is the armor key, and that's not the armor lock. That's not the armor key. Black American child shot by police outside Walmart, 1 year old. But what? I hadn't heard that. That's crazy, dude. What in the hell do I do here? This is weird. This is the only area that I know of that I can get to, other than the shotgun room. But I don't know what to do with the shotgun room either. What the? There we go. This thing right here comes around the corner, and it'll crush me, right? Maybe I just let it crush me and see what happens. Let me just let it kill me and see what happens here. I'm gonna pick it up from this side and just see what pops off. It's gonna kill me. Whatever, fine. Let me just see, because I'm gonna reload the game anyway because the sound got all weird again. I can't hear the game, so I'm gonna reboot the game. But like, oh, I died for the first time. I'm surprised you had not heard of it. It was about a month ago or two. About a month ago. Damn, I didn't know that. Let me reboot this real fast. Gallery. Leaderboard? What is the leaderboard? Who the hell is this? Who are y'all? Commander Ricardo Jet. Hard difficulty. No. What is this? What is this? This wasn't here when I first loaded up the game. Oh, these are actually online? Big Boss. Metal Gear. Oh my god.
Metal Gear.
Let me reboot the game again. God dang it. I killed myself on the game because I was like, what do I do here? Let me see if rebooting the game fixes the sound or if I have to unplug my audio equipment. I don't know what it is. Or something's like crashing my software and making it to where I can't hear. I don't hear that. Oh, you don't hear it either. No, it isn't. It isn't this. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna control Alt Delete real fast. Yeah. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. A chickity, chickity, check, check, check. Mic check. A chickity, chickity, check. There we go. Sorry.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Love that line so much. We'll play a little bit more. I wanted to try to figure out this damn... I haven't made any progress. I haven't made no progress yet. I'm gonna have to do some research, look up what I'm supposed to do, because I'm lost in the sauce, y'all. And I want to play Resident Evil 2 and 3, and I want to play 2 and 4 really bad because I've never played those two before. And in Resident Evil 1 Remake, I've played a little bit, but I never beat it. I like played a tiny bit of it. Thank you for... You can hear me now. Excellent. Am I hearing the game twice? I am hearing the game twice. God dang it. Okay, that should fix it. Hey, I can hear everything again. We'll see how... I'm gonna end the stream soon anyway because it's 10 o'clock, but I want to get a little bit of progress in here. But what the heck do I do? And this map is leaves something to be desired after coming from Resident Evil 0. There's something in the typewriter room, the room down here. I don't know what it is though. Then wait, this, why does that have... This door is actually open? Wait, the main entrance is open? I think no, if I recall, if I try to open the door, it'll be dogs. And it'll be a cutscene that says dogs. Nah, bro. So where the hell do I go? Bushi, what do I do? I'm deaf. Restore my ears, please. I'm sorry, Bushi. Yeah. This TikTok journey has been very interesting too. I can't see it right now, but streaming on TikTok has been very interesting and a lot of interactions. I don't know if you were here for any of the debates. You were. You heard me talk to Megan and the other guy. You totally mentioned that earlier. What do I do? I might look for some mods for this game too, not for like cheating or anything, just
What was that noise?
I can't. Okay, so the gamer gods don't want me to play this, you know, so I'm probably gonna hop off the stream and play some Deadlock or something. Because this thing is killing me. Deadlock or Resident Evil or Marvel Rivals. I'm gonna look up some stuff and get ready for next week's stream. I'm gonna have to get some more stuff together because I wasn't expecting to debate people as long as I did, or talk to people as long as I did on the TikTok stream. So I am gonna have to figure out if I need to stream earlier in the day or something just to make sure I get that time, because there's a lot of good content I could get from that, and I'm really trying to push that out to actually like monetize myself a little bit. So on the real quick on the YouTube gaming side here, if you're watching from the YouTube gaming side, sorry guys, a lot of technical difficulties in this stream. I'm going to try to clean this up and figure out what the heck to do here. But please, you know, if you're on there, you know, thanks for hanging out with me. Like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. It's not super important. It's just something I do for the VOD and for the fun, for the love of the game. But I'm going to close up the YouTube stream so that you guys don't have a whole bunch of conversation here. So thank you guys, and I'm gonna head out, y'all. I will see you in the next one. Look for more content, probably some more Pal World content coming soon as well. Won't be streaming that, but I will be making some YouTube videos with my son. So catch you guys later on the YouTube side, on the YouTube gaming side. On the YouTube short side and on TikTok, I will stick around a little bit more just in case anybody else wants to talk, because I saw a lot of people in there. I mean, this is the gaming stream. It looks like everything is fine on that side. I'm gonna close this out and open up my camera here. Why does it look so ugly? Why for it looks so ugly? Okay, there we go. There we go. And then I close out Resident Evil because I don't know what the hell's going on with that thing. I'm gonna have to figure out why the hell it's being so weird. Maybe if I run it in full screen mode or something, the audio cuts out and crashes on me. So I don't think it's the game. I think it's just a byproduct of whatever the hell's happening here. But yeah, Boshi, I think that was a good topic. I think that was an interesting topic in terms of let me see here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more for the other stream. I don't know why my lighting is being really weird today. Like the lights are not hitting right. As you can see, I'm a big Metal Gear fan. I got stuff in the background there. That's like a Metal Gear poster right behind me. I love that thing. Avatar as well. I like both the avatars. I don't have an avatar on this side, but you can imagine that Aang is over here just chilling with Korra or something like that. New fighting game is pretty sick. I hope to eventually get it. I'm broke right now, so I can't be buying a bunch of stuff. That's why I'm, you know, working my business and then also trying to make content in my free time. But yeah, big Metal Gear fan. Resident Evil. There's a new movie coming out too. I love Resident Evil. Right, this is the gaming portion of the stream, so I at least want to talk about gaming a little bit, so that TikTok doesn't get mad at me or anything like that. But yeah, if you're hopping in, we just had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to call it for the night and probably play some fighting games and such, and a little bit of Deadlock as well. That game has been, I need to grind Marvel Rivals, but this game has been really getting me. And then I also, I've been showing this off. On the TikTok side, you know, I haven't really shown you all this, but this is a fighting game controller that I designed with my friend. So it can be, it's made to be very ergonomic. So I can make it, I can play it sitting up like this, right, on my lap, and play it. There's a strap. It's for my back. I have some neck injuries, so there's a reason why it's like this. But I can also take it, play it like this, or play it like this. And it's all 30 mil buttons. Only fighting game fans will understand. These are 30 mil buttons. Hold on. My bucket of truth. This is a 30 mil button. I can't find the top of it. But if you look at these, right? Hold on. I'll show you the opening. That's what she said. Oh my God, I'm so immature. I'm so immature. I'm just going to share this with y'all because I like showing it off, and we're going to be selling this eventually. But if you look at these two right here, right? These two, you can see that this one right here is a lot bigger than this one right here. It's a 6 millimeter difference, but it makes a difference when you have a bunch of them spread out. And I'm 6'5". I'm tall as hell. I don't want these tiny ass buttons jumbling up my finger. Like this one right here, very tiny compared to this one right here, right? So bigger buttons. Typically this style of controller is only in the 24 mil. So this is like one of the very few controllers in the world where there's actually all 30 mil buttons, and it's almost ready to be like sold and manufactured. I have my partner with me that I've known since college, and he's a like business partner, friend partner, working with me to design this. He's an engineer, and then I've built controllers before from scratch. So this is like not the first controller I built from scratch. The first controller I built from scratch, I actually built it all by myself with like some advice on what to buy, but fully assembled it, all the wiring and everything. And then I also modified several other controllers before that. So I'm big into that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna play some fighting games like 2XKO or something like that. I don't have any sound, so I'm gonna have to shut down everything anyway, because otherwise I would just stream it. But I've had so many technical difficulties that I'm not inclined to stream all of that. But I will have my regular stream. I'm trying to debate if I want to stream on TikTok on Wednesday, because I do Baldur's Gate every Wednesday. Are you still in here, Mushi? Let me get your take. I'm not saying I'm going to make a final decision based off of what you say. But you know, I don't know if you're a TikTok guy or not, but assuming that I don't have any technical difficulties, I want to stream on TikTok as well, even though the gaming side is, I'm not going to get as much interaction as the debate side. So I don't know. I'm still contemplating it all in my head as I go. But I would love to know what you have to say about that. Looks crazy. Why don't I see the chat? Oh, there is no chat on this screen. That's why I don't see the chat. Damn. You said good luck. Your microphone keeps spiking. Oh, shit. It's spiking. How about now? Maybe I had it too loud. You only use, okay. So you're probably like me. I don't use a lot of Twitch, and I don't use a lot of TikTok. But I make content on both of those things. Twitch is a little different, but I don't pay attention. Like I'll have my friends stream up, or I'll have something up for a little bit, but I don't like just sit there and just like do nothing and watch it. I'm almost always doing something else when I do it. So yeah, but with all the technical difficulties, I'm gonna just go ahead and take my break now and get on out of here. Hopefully you can still hear all the music that I'm about to play and all that kind of good stuff. It is not constant. It happens every 4 to 5. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, in that case, let me get the hell out of here. I don't know what's going on, but I appreciate you hanging out with me. All the people in TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, shouts out to you guys. Follow me on the way out. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the other content that I have as well. New videos drop usually every week, like Tuesdays and Thursdays primarily, but I have a video I dropped on Sunday today. Come through. We have a Wednesday stream with the homies. I'll definitely be on live on Twitch either way. Twitch.tv/philosopher Philocypher. And come through. We're playing Baldur's Gate with 3 of my homies. I've known most of them for 20 plus years. It's a good time. We talk shit. We kill a bunch of people. We might be murder hobos every now and then. Whatever. Got a few mods in there too. Nothing heinous, nothing crazy, nothing too game breaking. But either way, thank you guys so much. And I will see you all in the next stream on Wednesday or sooner on TikTok. Deuces, y'all.